All right.
I'm not saying anything about nothing. I think somehow if we even talk about it because it's going on, they're going to get mad. That may be what it is.
No, it's nothing to do with anything now. We're
Stupid.
it's whatever. But no, we are live now,
Okay,
streaming.
cool.
So welcome to anyone who's checking this out. We tried twice to show the Super Bowl. I did research all day trying to figure out if that was even allowed, and
Oh,
according to the immediate response we had from YouTube saying no, 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 uh, you can't do that. So that is that, and yep, Rooney. So.
did you actually try and stream it?
Oh, I did. No, we actually did. We probably streamed like 4 minutes of it, but after 2 minutes after it was
Oh,
on both times, it shut us down. Hit us
oh,
with a.
so it was your fault.
You can say that. I'm blaming someone else. So
Well, I didn't even realize it because I don't see it on my screen.
yeah, no, I it wouldn't let me. It literally would not let me, like, I can just share my screen on Zoom. Well, it would not let me share anything to do with the live stream on my phone. It wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't exactly have a reason. It just would not. It would not let me. But no, this is cool. We'll watch the show. We'll talk about it, and we'll have a long version of the long version of a show. We can still talk about things. People can watch it on their own terms. But yeah, in the future, I mean, we gotta. So I guess maybe I don't know. We got to look into the laws surrounding things. We might be able to do stuff like this under the right context. Oh, that would have been a nasty freaking.
Maybe if we don't try and show it, I mean, it's not like everybody can't watch it for free anyway, but maybe if we just don't try and show it, we'll be good. I mean,
Oh no, they're not gonna do anything for talking about it. But
oh, that's good because
it
that
is
would
what
be
it is.
fucking
I
stupid.
kind of like part of me thought that would happen. That we would get in not in trouble necessarily, but that we would get bullshit. But um,
Oh, whatever. They shut us down once,
yeah,
twice.
yeah.
I wonder what the record is. Of people having their live cast shut down in the middle of it in one session. I wonder if somebody was just so determined they were going to bend the rules and break the rules, and we're going to do this. Fuck the man, fuck the system, and just went dot 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 until they got completely banned. I wonder how many tries it took.
Well, I mean, there's still a guy who actually does it. Part of the reason I thought would be able to stream this live without an issue was there's a guy who makes over $1 million a year on NBA highlights, but they're highlights, so it's not like it's a live footage. He reposts it
Yeah,
and commentates about it. But I guess they pulled his channel down like 4 times. But as soon as he puts a new channel back up, it instantly gets like 20,000 followers, and bada bing, bada boom, he's back to making money. And so I don't know, it's a weird area. I guess back in the day when sports teams were being filmed by people with grainy ass cell phone cameras, the 4 different professional people recording this there weren't feeling like they were being infringed upon at all. In
yeah,
fact,
but
but
my iPhone 11 Pro would probably do a better job than a lot of those cameras.
I don't know about that, but no, that's the premise is that now we can
Yeah.
get a good enough quality that we might take away a percent of viewers away from someone. So you got to think if there was some ridiculously famous dude who streamed it and could stream it, he could take away all the viewers from these networks. So I get it, but not to say I can't absolutely do anything about it, but it's gonna be interesting, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Brady was. Oh my God, that was almost a touchdown. Game hasn't even been on long.
No, so can we actually watch it? We just can't have any volume or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Bastards.
you can watch it. Um, I'm watching it muted right here, but
Yeah, that's how I've got it.
damn, that was almost a touchdown. This game. I feel like this is gonna be a high scoring point game. Like this is gonna be some shit. I think.
Or a low scoring point game. Then like got what 0-0 still?
There was already almost like two
Yeah,
touchdowns.
there's still no score.
Hmm. first points on the board.
Oh, there we go. I don't even know. I'm really not rooting for anybody. I don't care. I said, I mean, I couldn't find the information on it, but the last time I actually paid attention to the Super Bowl was when the Broncos won with that sick field goal. And it was like either just under, just over, or tied the record. It was set like years ago with a guy with like no toes on his foot or something like that. I don't remember names or anything. You know, I'm not a big sports fan, so those details don't really stick with me. But it was pretty cool, and it was a pretty epic game. Especially me not following sports. I won the pool that year. Never played it before. Just on a whim, went all right, cool, and won the pool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I won. Josh Adams says same. I won one of those box pools where you choose like the high and low, and it's like on a big board, and you know left and right. And I had no idea what was going on, but everyone was betting, so I threw some money in, and yeah, I ended up winning. But that's the only time it was like one of the few times I actually bet, and it was I don't know. Probably the only time I won. So, they got Will Ferrell on ads this year for.
I see that he's got a globe on his hand. I don't know what the hell's going on, but.
Oh, that's funny.
See, the only time I like Will Ferrell is when he's getting his ass kicked.
Oh my God! And they got they pulled in the guy from Sesame Street, and then the girl from the new freaking Crazy Rich Asians movie, Aquafina. It's gonna be lit this year on commercials, that's for sure.
I hope this is a car commercial, because otherwise
is.
I don't get it.
They're talking. I have closed captions on. They're talking about driving an electric vehicle.
Oh yeah, that's a Cadillac.
It's a sexy looking Cadillac.
That's different looking Cadillac. I don't see them like that up here. Oh, by 2025.
Oh, okay. So,
4 more years if you're, thinking you're going to get one of these quick. Nope. It's going to be amazing. It's like ordering a Tesla.
Absolutely. I wonder if I could get live scores that just say numbers. So we're not watching any video. And that way I don't know. This is so stupid. The way things work.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mess with it. We can just talk about it. We're still up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, for anybody watching, this is it. We can't stream the game. I mean, all right, I get that. Whatever.
Big internet stopped us. Fucking bastards.
Yeah, Big Brother said,
Yeah, not allowed.
So we can't do that, but we're doing this instead, so you can hear us ranting and raving about the game, whatever. And we're kind of half watching it on our phones and half doing this. And we're going to have Spencer will be here, our buddy, our other co-host, in about an hour at the latest. He got a food emergency, which I guess means he just had to make a shitload of food because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, no, food is definitely a big part of today. That is for damn sure.
Yeah, I was over at the X's. They're making pulled pork.
That's a good thing to be making today.
Oh yeah.
Dude, she made some damn good meatloaf. Freaking, I got that next to me here. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I like Brady. I used to think I liked Brady and Belichick, but I really just like Brady. So
I don't care one way or the other, but who is he playing for? Since I haven't been paying attention, I heard he left the Patriots, but I thought he retired. I didn't realize he went somewhere else.
Yeah, he swapped teams, and so he went from the Patriots to, I believe, well, it's definitely one of these teams. No, I think he's on the Kansas City Chiefs. He's in the white guys with the ball right now. He's got the points. Of course, he's got the points. I believe we can confirm that later.
That's cool. Kansas City. That's Tech Nine's territory. I'm sure he's watching the game.
It's Tech Nine's territory.
Nice territory. Well, it is. He's from KC, Missouri.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've never been to Missouri. Have you been to Missouri?
I lived in Missouri
What was it like? It sounds fucking
3
dreadful.
times.
Was it as dreadful as I think it is?
Well, it actually isn't that bad. Some of the stuff wasn't for me. I don't seem to fit in well in the Bible Belt at all. Yeah, I know. Go figure.
I don't know if I'd fit in the Bible Belt either.
No, no, and then the Baptist thing really, and it sounds horrible. And no, I'm not knocking anybody's faith. I just want to make that very, very clear to anybody and everybody watching. I'm not knocking anybody's faith. I am that guy. Ricky will tell you all day long. I am devil's advocate all day, every day, but I am not racist. I am not prejudiced against any. I am not a bigot.
He's lying. He hates everybody. He hates all of you. He doesn't like any of you.
I do, I say it, I hate everybody equally. It's not really everybody as a group. It's, I'm allergic to 2 things, pollen and stupidity.
Wow, that's stupid.
Stupid is as stupid does. Don't be stupid and you won't get called stupid.
Oh my God.
But again, I'm not knocking it. It's what it is. But the Southern Baptist, that whole Bible Belt thing and the Baptist thing in particular, because you're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to smoke. You can't do this. You can't do that. And okay, my ex-girlfriend moved up here years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She came from Missouri, and that was the one thing that stuck out more than anything else, I guess, with her. She moved up here, and she's like, Northerners are so rude. I'm like, no, it's kind of, yes, but no. It's not that we're rude. Here's the difference between a Midwestern meeting between friends, acquaintances, and a Northeastern meeting. Up here in the Northeast, we Yankees, it's like, hey, sup? Good, and you? And we keep going. In the Midwest, and again, I'm not knocking it, there's nothing wrong with it, I'm just illustrating because it's a totally different culture. In the Midwest, you see somebody in the grocery store parking lot, you're not leaving that parking lot for at least 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's catch-up time. You exchange gossip and how are you doing and talk about the weather and talk about the kids and the family. And it's great. It's awesome. That's that old-time stuff. I wish things were like that. Up here, people used to be a whole lot more friendly when I was a kid. It's not so much anymore. A lot of the old-timers are gone. Either moved down to Florida or passed on or whatever. And we've got a lot of these transplants and kids and unfortunately, the entitled generation in Vermont too. And I'm not knocking it all. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing that people still have that kind of connection down there or that friendly. What bothers me is there's a lot of passive aggressive backstabbing too. Now, don't get it fucked up. We've got the same shit up here. They're just not passive aggressive about it. They're right in your face. I prefer blunt force trauma to the head. If you're going to be a dick, look me in the face and tell me you're going to be a dick so I can punch you. I'm not being literal, but you get the idea.
You're very literal. Everyone thinks you're completely literal. No slack.
But anyway, so that's what I'm used to. If you're gonna punch me in the face, punch me in the face. Don't wait until my back is turned. Punch me in the back of the head, run into a crowd, and then tell a whole bunch of people that you had no idea what happened. Seriously?
Yeah, no. There's a lyric I heard in a song recently. It was "Good friends stab you in the front," and I was like, "That's a good way." Oh, dude, we're below the 10-yard line right now. We might get the first touchdown.
Oh, there's a touchdown.
Gonzo. 10 points. The Buccaneers. Bada bang, bada boom. Yeah. Wait, whoa. I'm sorry. I just learned something that's not good for the other team at all.
Uh-oh.
Yo, not only did Tom Brady fucking...
Gronkowski.
Yeah. Dude, you get that? They both went there. How much
The
money did you pay for Brady and him? Like, dude, them alone.
okay. This is gonna sound really screwed up. The only reason I know that name is from a Family Guy episode.
Dude, I started knowing who he was when he was having, life-size posters of himself at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean?
Never paid any fucking attention. No, I was just there's a Family Guy episode where he moves in not like next door across the street, but like behind them on the other side of the fence, and there's always loud parties and whatever. And the part that got me the most is he decided I can't remember names, so I call everybody Grover. And he was just calling everybody Grover, Hey, Grovers, you made it. Come on in. You have a beer. What the fuck?
Well, that's hilarious. I didn't know that he went over there with Brady. That's crazy. And I was wrong. So then out of 10 points, I was totally thinking about the wrong team. So now it's 7-3. But
so the Pats are not gonna ever win another Super Bowl.
I don't know about that, but I can tell you right now, it would be an interesting Super Bowl to watch. The Pats face Brady and Gronk. that would be entertaining.
They're gonna have.
They're still gonna be giving each other knuckles.
Hasn't been invented yet.
They're gonna still, you know what I mean? Like half of them might be a little salty, but realistically, they all gotta be friends. They got blood, sweat, and tears, and everyone understands money. Like if you're gonna pay someone more to do the same thing, why would you do the same thing for less? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. They just flipped over a Bud Light truck in this commercial.
Who is that? I feel like I should know who that is singing.
I have no idea. I'm not surprised at it. Throwing.
He fell over.
Oh man, the Super Bowl commercial. I don't know what they do. Do they wait all year to release good commercials?
Yeah.
All year? Just to get some really high quality ones?
These are the commercials that they spend $500,000 just for the slot. So you can imagine what kind of money they spent on the commercial itself and how long they've been holding on to it. Hey, this is the one, man. This is the golden one, guys. We got it. We're saving this for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Just change a couple of numbers for copyright dates or whatever and keep going.
Absolutely. No, I think we're gonna have a good game here. This is gonna be interesting to watch. Boozing and talking. But yeah, dude, that my day hasn't been straight since that damn video I watched earlier.
I don't even want to. I'm.
It's rough.
Crystal mentioned that she had seen it, and she goes, "No, you don't. You just don't
really
want
rough. To anyone who's just tuning in or who's listening, yeah, no, there was a really brutal murder suicide. In fact, double murder suicide, in Pennsylvania, like less than 96 hours ago. That freaking insane over snow. There was, a contentious husband and wife tossing snow in this dude's yard.
Not the type, but
and
fluffy white. Let's make a snow. Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to hide a body? Sorry. What?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so dude, it's fucking brutal. Like screaming at him, and like dude, he pulled the gun on them, and the people just walked at him. They were like, "Oh, they were still calling him a pussy when he was ADSing on them." Like it was just, I knew it wasn't gonna end good, and it's, I don't know if it was the sound and the percussiveness of the bullet that racked, but when he started dumping rounds, nothing happened. Like the people just stood still. They didn't run. They didn't cry. They stopped talking. It really blew me away. Like I've seen a lot of freaking nasty videos, whether it be fake in a movie or whether it be real on Reddit on some stupid, hold my feeding tube subreddit. But this was insane. And so he puts his whole mag of his pistol into his neighbors in the center of the street with tons of people watching, and he goes inside. And then neighbors start coming out, and you can hear the people on the ground who are, shot, their phones ringing and stuff, and the neighbors come out, and there's like these teenage kids talking to him. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Like asking a slice of
not
Swiss
okay.
cheese,
I just got shot.
They weren't even responding, and it was like, I was like, oh my God, like these kids are gonna get involved. And then this dude, so the dude who shot them runs inside, and when he comes back out, he's got an AR. And he goes full zombie land and double taps straight up to him, and as like he walks up to a lady and he goes, "You shouldn't have talked shit, bitch." And click click and fucking, extremely brutal. Then walks up to the guy, does the same thing, goes inside off camera, kills himself. And so just like insane, bro. The fact there was a video, and the news videos you see on most news stations stop right before he starts opening fire. When he comes back out and they're in front of him, it stops, and you can barely see him holding a gun. The video goes on for another minute and a half after that, and it's truly, don't watch it if you have a weak stomach. It's rough. It's especially rough knowing that it's just happened. Like that's. It put a sour taste in my mouth for quite a bit.
I don't really have a weak stomach, but that's.
I've had an argument with a person before, many a times. Like we have arguments. We disagree on shit all the fucking time, and sometimes I get mad enough that I might just say something that I didn't mean, and if that constitutes you killing me, that's. I don't know. That's just. I don't know. The way that I was thinking about it was like, you know what I mean? The morning they woke up, they didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't.
Yeah, how would you know that
they
that's
were just
how
out
your day was
shoveling snow? But at the same time, like they were shoveling snow. Allegedly, you didn't see this in the video. They were shoveling their snow across the street into the neighbor's property, and he came out saying, "This is kind of bullshit." Like stop it, and they started cussing at him. And that's how this all started. So it's like, I'm not going to defend the murderer.
Okay, so they were dirtbags, but
they didn't look good in the video. But you don't have to look good to earn the right to not be murdered. You know what I mean? Like that's right.
That doesn't necessarily constitute. Oh, I need to kill you over fucking snow. And what was it even his yard?
Yeah, I mean the dude who shot. I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird, man. That was just a story, but not. I don't even know where to go from that. Like to top that, jeez, that'd be something. But yeah. Besides that, man, we got stock market exploding and the world getting COVID vaccine. You gonna get the vaccine yet, bro?
I'm going to wait until they decide they're not, and it doesn't really matter anymore. Before we get too far off the subject, I wanted to say one thing about that whole thing. Now, you know me, devil's advocate to the death.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, okay, if somebody comes out with a gun, your best bet would probably be not to stick around and not to keep running off with a fucking mouth to them. All right, you're asking for a problem. If they're dumb enough to pull a gun, they're either dumb enough or crazy enough to use it. If they're, all right, you probably got a 50-50 chance. They might not. Who knows? They might just think they're big shit and come out with a gun, wave it around, and think everybody's going to bow to them. Because there are people like that too. You have your bullies of the world. But on the other hand, I would probably be the one to say, all right, you going to pull a gun on me, motherfucker? You going to use it or what?
I hate to say it. Like, that's, I agree with you in most situations. But like I said, after seeing that video, if you or I did that, you or I would not be here today. Like, in that exact circumstance. Like, because it happened in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, it's 7:20. 3 minutes from now, that was black for them. Just 180 seconds, and they pushed it further than I would have pushed it, like completely. Like he pulled the gun and they walked towards him. So it was super stupid. But even then, it's like it really widened my eyes, like just a little bit. Like I might just keep my fucking opinion to myself. You know what I mean?
Like, well, I wouldn't shovel my snow into somebody. And here's the other part of that. Now we go back to, it sounds like they were dirtbags to begin with. No, they probably didn't deserve to die over it. But they sound like they were dirtbags to begin with, because who the fuck shovels their snow into somebody else's lawn, somebody else's yard, unless, you're a dirtbag and and you're just trying to piss somebody off.
Very well could have been. Very well could have been, but it was just the world, man. The world's a pretty crazy place, and I mean, it's.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
say
not
it's
impressed
getting.
some days.
I'm not impressed some days.
So I was talking out my ass earlier. I couldn't remember the exact name of everything. There are guests that we have tonight. The podcast is what God. I knew. Remember, it was God and puns. I couldn't remember the third thing.
A nickname for me.
Asshat.
More offensive.
Fuck muffin.
More used, less offensive.
More used, less offensive. Asshole.
Asshole? I'm an asshole? I'm a towel.
You're a towel some days.
I
love you anyway, brother.
I think he said his show was God Dicks Puns. So
yes, that's it. God Dicks and Puns. Okay, I tried looking them up on Instagram too, and there was one that was like that, but there really wasn't much of any posts or anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna find out for sure.
Are you a robot? I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure. What would you like, my dear? Oh, by the way, just letting you know, and everybody, I told Crystal she's more than welcome to just come in and whatever. This is gonna be a long show, and we can use a little bit of extra talent, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, for sure.
Huh?
No, go in front of the camera.
But so we got a flag, unnecessary roughness on the defense. So
unnecessary roughness, is that what we're working towards? Okay, hold on. Hold that thought just a second. I will be right.
Yeah, I don't know. You post in the chat what you guys think about this damn game here. We got 2 streams going. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and just really having fun. We got our second co-host and a guest coming in like the next half hour. We just figured we would start up a little bit early and talk about the game, and before we get into the crux of things with the guest, and that's kind of where things have went. We're already into the second during the Super Bowl, so far Brady's team winning. Hi, Crystal. You muted yourself, Skippy.
There, I'm unmuted. See, she came on camera.
Hi, Crystal. How are you?
He said hi. How are you? He can't hear. Hold on, maybe this will work.
It took you a sec. I don't know if it might go back in your mic if you play it out loud.
No, we can actually hear now. Now it's just coming out of the computer speaker.
Oh, wow. I actually can't hear myself, so. Touche.
Can you hear yourself? That sucks.
I thought there was going to be more people.
Yeah, they're en route. We started early to match up with the Super Bowl.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it's like Spencer's like around 80 said, and that's when our guest is going to be here, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then we'll talk about tons of fun stuff, and
7:30 does make sense because then.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
You'll be done by the time.
Yeah, all good. We will manage. I'm gonna look up some things to. Wow, that yawn came out of nowhere. Oh wow, we're getting close to more touchdowns. Getting close. First and goal. First and goal.
Nice. Oh, and Tampa Bay is winning.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Ricky and I were talking about this. We didn't even realize. I had no idea. They didn't just get Brady. The Buccaneers got Brady. They got Gronkowski too.
Yeah, I knew that.
You knew that? Yeah. Why do you not ever tell me this shit?
Why do you not ever tell me this shit?
Yeah, but I like to know stuff.
I like to know stuff.
Now I know.
Now I know. Now you know. Now you know. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna now be. I don't know. I'm gonna show off my T-shirt because I love this shirt.
The Ravens. You like crows. I don't even understand.
I do. It's the Ravens Brewing Company.
I'm with you.
Not just, and yes, I do like crows. I like, I'm big on crows and scarecrows and.
Yeah, Because you look
Dark.
like one.
Dark.
Scarecrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the guys I listen to, Boondocks, that's what he is. He's like the Scarecrow. That's what he calls himself. That's
He is the Scarecrow, as if.
Oh yeah, no, that's his persona. Here, let me. I will find and show you. Hold on. Because I can share pictures. I can share pictures, right?
Yeah, you can share pictures.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Is that the one?
We're like second and goal right now. We're damn close to some more points on the board. So
That didn't work very well. I thought this was just going to be a simple thing right here.
What was going to be a simple thing? Sending a picture? Do you need help, old man? I can help you.
I do. Bite me.
I made a joke to my grandmother earlier. I was talking to my grandmother about the show, and then oh, damn, dude just had the ball in his hands and got checked, and the ball came right out and hit the ground like instantly. Bang!
Oh,
third
that's
goal.
rough.
Yeah, no, it popped out like a pest
Okay,
dispenser.
I need you to enable screen sharing because that's the only way I
God.
can do this.
Oh God, here we go.
You locked me out, damn it.
God darn it.
Ass
All right.
hat.
You have been given permission, sir.
I have been given permission. Oh, why? Thank you, sir.
All right, here we go. Touchdown or no touchdown? Third and goal. They're going for it. And oh, dude, it looked like he got stonewalled. I don't think he got through. They're gonna go for it on fourth and goal. Like, come on. If you're gonna give up the ball, you give up the ball on the 1 yard line. That's where you give it up. Come on. Like you're gonna barely kick your way there.
So the picture isn't nearly as big as I would like it, and I was trying to figure out how to do that and couldn't do it. But that's Boondocks.
That's makeup, right?
Well, yeah, of course it's makeup.
You say, well, yeah, dude. People have gotten masks tattooed on their face.
Oh no! I understand completely. That's
balls on the ground, nothing. We're fourth and goal. What do you think? They going?
That's his thing. Is a scarecrow.
They're going for it, I think. Fourth and goal on the 1 yard line. Here we go. Put him up. I don't know. I think he got it. I don't know though. Nope.
Nope.
I don't
almost. What's that? Like 2 yards?
Yeah, he was
maybe
6 feet or less.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
It says first and 10.
Yeah, going the other way.
All right. So if you will give me just a second, I have something I have to attend to.
Okay, kind sir.
I will be right back.
Okay. Well, while he is gone, we are gonna talk about what's going on in these ads. It's hailing something that is hurting people. I don't know, these ads are so crazy. Like that, you watch regular television, you see a regular ad about some bullshit treadmill, and then you watch Super Bowl ads. It's night and fucking day. Everybody hates commercials till the Super Bowl. That's just facts, though. These are going to be some good commercials. I think you could probably kill a good half hour if you went on and watched all the Super Bowl commercials post-Super Bowl. It's got to be fun to go. I can't imagine how that's doing with COVID. Like, I wonder if they COVID tested everybody before it or what they did as far as that goes. I'm not really sure what protocols would have been best. I don't know if I'd catch myself with the Super Bowl right now. Not super scared about myself for COVID, but lost a few family members, and I'm not really trying to continue that. You know what I mean? That doesn't sound fun at all. Martha Stewart's in one of the commercials. That's hilarious. Dude, they pull out all the A-list celebrities for these. That's absolutely ridiculous. They got the guy from Swordfish too, the bad guy villain. I can't think of his name right now. Oh, let me hit it with a quick Google. I gotta give you his name. I don't know why I can't think of his name. It's gonna hit me in the face as soon as I see it. God, what's his name? It's not Statham. It's not John Travolta. Wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of that. Brain dead. But yeah, this is gonna be a good game, a good night. We're gonna have some more people in here in a minute, which will be pretty dope, and we'll learn about our guest a little bit and learn about things. I think it would have been a lot better if we were able to show you the game, folks. I'm sorry that we weren't. It's stupid copyrights that we can't really get around. So in the future, we'll have to show some stuff that's allowed. But it's 7-3 right now, 10:50 in the second. So we'll see where this goes. I think they're trying to decide right now if this touchdown counted. No, it definitely didn't count. He was nowhere near that line. Not at all. Yeah, if anyone wants to talk in the chat here, I got 2 different chat bars open. We can chat back and forth if you want during this whole live show. We got a fun old night planned. But no, I heard a quote the other day. Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Or prepare you to fail. That caught me in a really good way. You know what I mean? I try to practice and plan a whole bunch of shit. So I think that's a good thing. God, I'm still fucked up from that video I saw earlier. It's got me really sideways. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit was rowdy. All right, we're going back the other direction now. Let's see. Oh, first down. Pushing it. That was a damn good catch. See, this would have been so much better if we could have shown this. I don't know how you get around this. Is it only live shows that have a problem, or would we get into the snafu if anything were to be shown live? I don't know. There's so much to learn. I did an hour of research today trying to figure out all this. There's multiple sports channels that post clips, and some of them get in a lot of trouble, but they just keep coming back, and they keep making money and moving on, and it's just rather interesting. So now we know for future reference that we can't stream a live show simultaneously, but we can stream other things, which is good. And now that I think about it, we could stream games on here. We could all get into a lobby and play a game or something, and we could stream that. That would totally be doable. I wonder what we could play that would actually be worth it here. I got a female ref. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a female ref before. I've definitely never seen a female ref during the Super Bowl. So, yeehaw. Going pretty good. Alright, here we go. They are playing football. 3rd and 8. Shoots a bomb, and the guy drops it. Looks like we're going to get a turnover here. Well, you got 2 teams in the Super Bowl. It's got to be a good game. I don't want to see any one team get stomped here. It's a good game when it's super, super duper competitive. But oh boy. Yep, kickoff. Back to Brady's team. It's gonna be exciting. I'm kind of excited. I literally didn't even know Brady was in the Super Bowl at all. what do we got going on right here for news? We got people gone, so I'm gonna peep the news. What do we got? Impeachment case against Trump. Okay, they're still talking about that stupid fucking shit. Super Bowl live updates. Chief First Bucks. Live updates. 7:18 p.m. Oh wow, is it just doing? Okay, so yeah, so we can share this. This is the latest updates, 18 minutes ago. Touchdown. So I'm sure this will update over time. They updated after 15 minutes there, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, I really wish we could have shown it. It's such a shit show that it stopped us from being able to do that. Oh, well, my bad, folks. Did you? Oh, you can't even see my screen, can you? Nope, you can't. So we'll stop screen sharing here. Apologies to anyone watching. Live streaming is a lot different than doing this regularly. Bing, bing, bing. And we're back. Beautiful. Sorry about that to anyone who was watching. We are back all good. I think that I am going to... So what else we got going on here? It says the majority of Americans approve Biden's coronavirus response, a poll finds. I hear about polls all the time. I want to know who's taking polls because I haven't taken any polls. No one I know is taking any polls. Who's answering these polls? Oh, they're talking about the style of the Super Bowl halftime show with the best style. So they're already preparing to start rating who's got the best show. Oh, awesome. More contagious coronavirus variant from UK is doubling every 10 days in the US. New study warns. Like, are you absolutely kidding me? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yep. Welcome to the rest of the life of COVID, where we deal with COVID forever. Deal with it forever. That would be very shitty, but like, what's the alternative? You know what I mean? I don't think we have a choice. Like, we just have to deal with things. If they want to go shittily, they're gonna go shittily, and I don't think we have much say in that. I'm kind of nervous about that how long we're gonna have to deal with this COVID stuff. I'm not saying I want to go to a bar, but man, it'd be nice to just, like, I've drove by it before, went in, got a beer, and went home. Like, that's ever since Corona, I haven't done anything of the sort. That would be preposterous. You know what I mean? Jeez, why would you be doing that? But then again, it's up to certain people. Some people are going out, some people are staying home, and I'm just trying to work, and I got a family, so things gotta go the way things gotta go. But let me double check the chat real quick. All good. Beautiful. Where we at in the Super Bowl? What's going on? It's still 3-7. Yeehaw. I'm editing our stream here a little bit to be got our logo on it and stuff, so make it a little, get a little branding going on here. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So that's done. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna add a little news feed here for you folks. You can see only me right now. Chris ran away for a break. We got our guest coming in here soon. The next 15 minutes. Our other co-host will be done. I'm with you, Eric. Eric's talking about people submitting and acting like sheep. We got a lot of that going on. That's for sure. But what are you gonna do? Not follow the rules? Like, they're fining restaurant owners in LA and all over the country for opening when they're not supposed to be. And thank God I don't own a business right now. That would be fucking scary. But yeah, to anyone who's watching the live feed as opposed to listening, because we have an audio version out there and then we have 2 live streams out. I am currently editing our live stream, and I'm going to give people who are watching a news feed to check out of the latest going on with the game, just so that way y'all can have something to read. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just watching us, and nothing wrong with that, but what do we got? Interception? The defense of Kansas City outside is Ward holding. Oh shit. Yep. No. They had a good play and they got holding, so they got screwed. What are you gonna do? But all right, I am almost done editing the stream here. Let's see.
Hey, you've been carrying everything by yourself. What the hell?
I have.
Why do you even have other co-hosts if they're just not going to even be there? What the hell, man?
I ask myself the question sometimes.
See, that's that Southern Baptist shit I was talking about.
Southern Baptist. You're shooting for the wrong.
No, and again, not knocking it. It's what it is. It's a regional thing. It's a cultural thing. I get it. I just don't do it well.
You just don't do it well?
No, I'm a blunt force trauma to the head type of guy. Always have been, always will be. Say what you mean. It's what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean,
cultural. There's nothing wrong with it, and it seems to work well there. That's fine. But anyway,
absolutely.
So score hasn't changed. I see.
No, we're still 7-3, and I'm in the editor right now playing around with stuff. I've got a website here with updates of the game in note form, so I was gonna pose that as a source and get some stuff going.
So there's no sound and no live feeds.
I am ensuring of that.
Other than us, we're a live feed. Hi.
Yes, hello. 40-yard attempt on the field goal. Let's see.
Ooh.
It's about to be 10-3.
I want to say that one year was like 47 or 48 yards.
That's why they get the big bucks, man. He fucking
it was like almost from the center of the fucking field.
Yeah, dude, pros can shoot it from the 50-yard line.
Yeah. But it's the can. It's not necessarily will. There's a lot of factors involved, and all it takes is one slight angle change, and it's gone. You lost that shit.
Yeah, so I'm looking at something right now. I'm gonna share in a second if I get it to work. But
not that I'm saying I'm a pro football player, because I'm definitely not any type of football player.
you're not any type of football player?
No, I don't even play. I mean, I can play, like friendly games, whatever. I understand the rules. I understand how it works. I'm just not that type of guy.
Okay. I'm with you. Yeah, I watched a lot of sports growing up. It slowed down previously in my life, but I'm pretty happy to be watching the fucking Super Bowl on a podcast. I've never done that before, so there's a first,
Yeah, we're gonna hit a lot of firsts in this first year or two, and we're gonna hit a lot of this is the first time we did this, and this is the first time we did that. Look, it's our first pandemic, and we're talking about it pretty much every fucking episode.
Yeah, no, we definitely are.
Because I get it. It is what it is. It's.
Oh, did we just? I looked over at the screen and saw Gronk catching the football.
Oh, yep. Oh, he did too. That was a.
What? What just
that
happened?
was a mildly feminine.
Okay, so did we just not? We just kicked off and got 3 points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that put us at 10. So how did? What in the fuck? I don't know. I looked away, but apparently I looked away and we got a whole bunch more points. So, jeez, wow. Whew.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's crazy. Nah, I would not want to be the team not having double digits in the Super Bowl.
I wonder if I asked Siri if she could turn on the closed captioning.
You think Siri's gonna help you?
I don't know. Sometimes she's pretty helpful. Okay, now here's a funny story. I'm you know me. I see some really stupid shit sometimes, some off the wall stuff. So we're putting together a shopping list, and we have one of those Alexa things. And so we're like, we need something. We're like, yeah, Alexa, put peanut butter on the shopping list. I put peanut butter on your shopping list. Well, I wasn't even thinking about it that way, but Crystal ran through a list of stuff, and I went, hey, Alexa, put my nuts on the shopping list. So Alexa immediately comes back with, my nuts are on your shopping list.
Well, yeah, you'll get that.
I just thought that was the most hilarious thing. No, but so I was wondering if maybe Siri can actually. What in the hell?
What in the hell?
This is a weird commercial.
Dude, everything in the Super Bowl is weird. It is most definitely weird.
Hey Siri, turn on closed captioning.
Do you really
I'm
ask?
having trouble getting the available languages.
Yeah, that's because you speak retard, not English.
Thanks. Okay. So I really wish I could read the, because I don't. I'm gonna cry a little bit.
A little bit?
Not really. Well, maybe a little bit. Oh, and it's Beavis and Butthead, and I'm missing it. Damn it. Preference. Getting more, and it's not really giving me. Okay, there's settings, notifications. See, all y'all get to watch me act like an idiot because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here. And I should. So that's entertaining,
You
right?
acting like an idiot is your primal state, my friend.
Yes, sir. All day, every day.
All day. Every day. It's all I do.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Ain't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. Ain't nobody.
That was a good movie. That's been a long time since I've seen that, though.
Really? You need a Rush Hour rewatch?
Yeah, I think I might. That was a good movie. It was hilarious. And when you look at the interviews and read the stuff on the Jackie Chan, really, I don't know. I'm sure he knows more now, but especially in the beginning, he really honestly didn't know much English at all.
Really?
He was just that was what I read somewhere, that he really didn't know a whole lot of English, and so a lot of it was completely foreign to him, literally. It was just he learned how to read the lines. And I guess a lot of people have probably done that too, learned how to speak English by reading lines, especially, not being, stereotypical or whatever, like Asians coming over from the whole politically correct thing. I'm not worried about it. I hate it, but it scares me once in a while, especially because I'm on Instagram all the time, and I don't want to be that guy that, suddenly somebody hates me and everybody starts hating me and I get unfollowed by a whole bunch of people just because of something I said that somebody went, oh, I'm not bubble wrapped enough for that.
So I just updated our live stream. So now we're streaming the score and the names and the amount of timeouts and just basically all the info that we can actually show without it causing trauma.
Okay, awesome. So, I still haven't figured out through all this how to put the closed captioning on.
Well, it's okay. You're a boomer, and no one expects you to learn anything.
No, actually, I'm not a boomer. Well, I'm a Gen Xer. Thank you very much.
I've never looked up the dates those start or end, and so if you have, that just makes you one of them. That's what I said. But yeah, so now we're showing the score, and this is a version we can do. We could do this. This can be our sports version. I think it looks pretty nifty, if I do so say myself.
Hey Siri.
Hey Siri.
How do I turn on closed captioning?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do I turn on closed captioning.
You need a YouTube video? Okay, you're watching on the same website as I, bro. And I had closed captioning on my phone, okay? So in the bottom of your screen, it should say live, okay, on the bottom right. Next to it, there's a picture that looks like a chat bubble that someone would use to speak. And if you click that, that's closed captioning. What's going on? Welcome, Samuel.
Why didn't you just tell me that?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Watching the Super Bowl and hanging out. How about you?
Honestly, just finished eating dinner and been looking forward all day to this.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Happy to have you.
Before we go any further, I have to ask, do you prefer Sam or Samuel?
I'll just go with Sam.
Okay, cool. I have to ask people that.
Yeah, honestly, best idea there is.
Sweet. So we're already live. Typically, we would have a conversation, and we would meet who you are before, and then you'd say it to everyone else. But we are already live. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to whoever's listening?
Sure. Well, my name is Sam. I am a social work grad student, undergrad in psychology. I also host the podcast called God, Dicks, and Puns, which is essentially a D&D podcast. And otherwise, few more things about me. I'm an accomplished martial artist, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have. What I have for now.
Nice.
I know there's a Super Bowl going on right now.
Yeah.
But honestly, I am so not a sports person that I'm Canadian and I don't even watch hockey.
Wow.
No, that's completely okay. That's completely okay. I don't watch hockey either, so.
Are you Canadian?
I'm not. I'm American.
There you go.
I live in Vermont though, so I'm as close as I can be geographically to a Canadian. I'm tied with a lot of people for as close as you can geographically be to a Canadian.
So that's why you were talking about mountains in that episode. I think it was the one with the agriculture guy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Brendan Black. He was a good friend.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I moved out here 4 years ago. Shit, is it 5 now? 20. Yeah, I think we're on 5 now.
Really?
Maybe it is 4, and I'm just thinking it's going faster. But
Okay, so how well we can solve this
It's
pretty quickly.
December
I've
of
been back 4.5
2017.
years.
So
So
2018.
how long before you started with the company did you move back or move here?
I started working with you in the first week I moved to the state. So
All right, so you're talking 4 years.
coolio. My memory sucks.
No, your math sucks. There's a
Oh,
difference.
goddamn.
Love you anyway, brother. All day, every day. Yeah,
I
your
know.
math
I
sucks.
love you too. So what do you talk about on your show? Is it religion, penis jokes, and puns?
If only. Well, the last two are there.
Tons of
Religion.
Religion and penis jokes. Yeah.
Well, are you guys familiar with what D&D is?
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, yeah.
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yeah,
Big
that's
boobies.
it. All we do is talk donuts and coffee, and we do competition to Tim's.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, that sounds
We
pretty
can
good.
do
Do you
Yeah,
have,
no, I do know what D&D is. I'm an old head. I remember the original D&D.
I don't remember what's the first edition I played, but I know I played when I was a teen before I started this whole shebang. And good God, you know when you have that first experience at something new and nothing seems to be working. There's no cooperation. There's no help. It's just, all right, I'm going to throw you into deep end, and it's either, well, pretty much like birds, right? I'll toss you off the tree, and if you die, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, pretty
sink or
much.
swim. Eric Eric said Topher has to ask Siri how to brush his teeth every morning. Eric's a mutual friend of both of ours, and so he's he got you, bro.
Yeah, well, I like to make her feel wanted. I'm afraid if I don't keep asking her for help, she'll just, shut down, or I'll get a glitch in my phone or something.
He said Siri, right?
Yes.
Well, just make sure you don't get an Alexa. Otherwise, jealousy's going to start setting in, and God knows you don't want that.
Yeah, no, we actually have one of those too. My aunt and uncle got us one for, was it a spot? And it's funny because I was just telling Ricky and everybody else earlier. So, and we've done some stupid shit. We'll be like making a shopping list and telling Alexa, hey, put this on the list, put that on the list, put the other thing on the list. And she's really good about it. And one day I was just, I couldn't remember something. And I'm like, Alexa, put a fucking brain on the list. And she did. She actually came back with, I've put a beeping brain on the list. And then so my girlfriend looks at her phone at the list because it's attached to her phone, her Google account. And sure enough, on her list, uncensored, is a fucking brain. So today.
But wait, when the machine answered, they actually said a beeping or they said a fucking?
Oh, there was a beep.
I
I have no problem saying a fucking. I'll swear all day. I say some stupid shit to make a trucker blush.
Oh my God! So there was a moment the other day. I'm opening my pictures right here because I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of it. And I was embarrassed. So I was getting to learn a new server I was on my phone, and somebody. So there's commands. So you can hit dot profile. Your profile shows up. You can hit dot message, and you can message somebody. We can imagine this goes on further. There's lots of dot commands. One of them was hug, and so someone hit dot hug and added somebody, and it did a little gif of someone hugging someone, and I was like, okay, I have an idea. Dot hug,
Oh no!
and I added myself. and right here, I have it on my phone. I'm holding it up to the camera, but you're not gonna be able to see it. But it came back, and the bot frickin' said it liked it with the like the look on your face where you're doing this. Like I was hilarious. The bot liked what I said instead of actually like executing the command. It was like, nice try. So I was
so scared you were gonna go somewhere else with that. Dot commands. Wait, what was that word we were saying before? Oh God, please don't.
That's really cool. So when you guys, I actually met a guy recently who was he was older than me, and he played D&D, and he was telling me all about playing
Most
it.
people are older than you.
Most people.
How old are you for fun?
26.
All right, 26. I'm right there with you. 27.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be 27 the day before Halloween this year.
Oh, nice.
So, pretty excited about that. But yeah. So when you guys do D&D, are you guys playing a physical game or an online game or?
Oh, we do it online.
Okay.
With the whole context for one, meeting up and playing actual tabletop is kind of impossible. And second part is half of my team is not in the same city as I am.
That can pose a problem.
Yeah, most of my team is anywhere between 2 and 3 hours away. So it would be very difficult for us to actually all sit around and hello.
Hello.
We have a Jedi Master joining us tonight.
Welcome, Tom Cruise. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your support.
Don't make me blush, man. No Tom Cruise. How's everyone doing today? Hello.
Yeah, so Sam, this is Spencer, our other beloved co-host, and we are already live, Spencer. So we're having fun. We've been live for an hour and 7. Me and Topher here started the live stream at 6:30 something, and we got shut down for copyright violations twice in a row before we decided to switch to the version we are at now. So if you were to look at our live stream, you would see our 4 cameras holding 65% of the total realty of someone's screen, and at the top above us is the names of the teams in the Super Bowl, the amount of timeouts they have, where they're at on the field, the score, and the first, second, third, fourth down. And so
Nice.
that's the best we
That's
can
awesome.
do.
Give me 1 second. My cat is being an annoyance. Be right back.
No
What
problem.
is that, Sam?
So how was your food, Spencer? I've been talking so much and kind of like subtly embarrassed to eat while on cam, so my dinner's still half in front of me.
You better start eating, man. We can't have you have low blood pressure during this episode.
Yeah, right. Your sugar levels go down. You just kind of go, face plant at the keyboard or something. Shut everything down. Then we'd all be fucked.
I'm still young enough that abuse is prevalent in my existence. You
But
know
it
what I mean?
doesn't need to be.
You mean like the abuse
So
you take from us?
I've been telling my girl this now. So
Well, that's a great start.
I am sore if I don't work out. You know what I mean? If I go to bed and I don't work out, I wake up sore. My back hurts, yada yada, BS. You know, I'm really tall and really skinny, so all my bones and cartilage they don't have enough support for my longness, and so I got to build muscles to fix that. And so now I'm working out every single night on top of work, on top of being a dad, on top of doing everything, and I'm still fucking sore. But it's not a bad sore. It's not I'm hurting because I'm immobile and I'm a giant vagina. It's I'm sore because I've tore my muscles over and over and over, and I'm getting big. And so I don't know. I'm choosing the second one for now. And yeah, it's a thing. But it's like 17 mental processes. The first 16 are me going, I should work out. No, you shouldn't. I should work out. Come on, man. No, you shouldn't. And then on the 17th, I get on the floor and start doing push-ups.
Oh, at least you've got that 17th one. Mine hasn't come online today at all. I was trying all day. I should just get up and just do it for a 20-minute one. But then the other 16 voices in my head just go around and say Bloodborne.
Right.
That's a fun game. Yeah, so So what is going on with everybody today? Me and Topher have already hit a whole range of subjects. So Sam, Spencer, you guys got anything specifically that you've had go on to you recently?
Well,
Interesting.
for my part, today was much of a relaxation day. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a grad student, and for me, the way classes work is I have classes once a month, but very intensive. And I just got off that yesterday, so today was a bit like, let's just blow some steam off, let time fly, and basically no pants Sunday.
Rock out with your cock
The
out
two
there,
thumbs
buddy.
up. I understand that because I have weeks. Some weeks are really easy. My job is I'm traffic control. Some weeks are pretty easy. Some weeks, by the end of it, I'm honestly lucky I'm not in jail. Some days it's really not good, not good. So I understand that completely because when I have one of those days, and Ricky knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When I have one of those days, yeah, usually Saturday I end up like, no, I'm not even doing laundry today. I'll do it tomorrow.
Mhm.
I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just relaxing because I just kind of need to let the last week drain from my body,
Mhm.
into mindless stuff, take out all my aggression on shit that doesn't exist playing video games.
Yeah.
Not completely. So I wanted to touch on this, and this is something I've spoke about now, I think, twice on other podcasts. I think I was actually supposed to be a guest on a podcast tonight, and I'm remembering that as I'm speaking to you, but I'm going to forget it as I continue speaking to you. So
Wait a minute. Hold on. You double booked yourself?
No, I didn't double book per se. Like, I think I was supposed to start.
Yes, you did.
Oh
my God.
That's the part of being just a really great human is you make mistakes and you give yourself a break sometimes.
I still say you could do it. Like, I don't have any doubt in you.
Yeah, but I'd rather be here. And it's not a time confliction, but I didn't have a job when I booked it.
Word.
So that's the confliction. And the beauty of it is if I continue living, I can reschedule. So whether that be on my own dictation or the luck of being alive in the future, I'll take either. But no, I'm just curious. So we got a guest. We got Spencer. We got Topher. Our little crew. So Sam, I'm just curious, and one of our co-hosts will go first if you need a second to think. So let us know. But where are you guys at when it comes to thoughts? Like, we all have them. You know what I mean? None of us can tell if when we tell the other one of them, we're lying or not, because it's not something you can ever know. And part of the definition of the word affect, and I believe it's the one pronounced affect, A-U-H, effect. There's three meanings, two highly used, one in like only 1% of times, and that 1% use would be someone had a sad affect. Like someone was looking sad, but you could tell by looking at them simply that there was more to it. Like, they either weren't sad and they were faking, or, So in that sense, like, with your thoughts, where are you guys at when it comes to how you process thoughts? I've had this conversation with a ridiculous amount of people in this last month.
So I just want to make sure I got the right message here, because you started with thoughts and then you went with affects, which is something I'm quite familiar with. Having studied psychology, I know a fair bit about affects and all how that works, but where's the link? I'm a bit lost in between the two.
Well, but there's three definitions for an affect. There's and the least used and the hardest to actually say correctly grammatically is the one when you're showing an emotion of which you believe there's more to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in the sense of a thought, every thought, to me at least, seems like there's more to be desired. Like, you're telling me what you're telling me, but I can't ever tell if what you're telling me is omissive or misleading or truthful or just off base. And in that sense, to me, every time someone speaks, it's like I take them at their word. But then when I find out in the future that they were bullshitting me, it's like, well, Okay, so they were telling me yes, they were doing no, and now I'm averaging the difference, and I'm an idiot, you know? And so it's just in that sense, I look at it as people have an affect of, you know, their thought, you know? You know, we all say different things, but do we mean it? You know what I mean?
So from what I'm getting, essentially, you're making the bridge where in an affect, we're going to present an emotion or whatever the hell else we're presenting at that moment in time, but there's often something underlying behind that. And now you're curious as to thoughts. And when I'm talking to you, am I presenting you my full thought, or am I keeping something in the back? Right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And you know, you can take that to the you know, the things that, you know, are demons in our mind, if you want to call them that. Like we all have. Some people have depression. Some people have headaches. You know, some people.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of different things. I don't want to compare any or call qualities, but just in the sense of life, I meet a lot of people, and I'll get into a conversation with them and realize that they've never studied Socrates. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That you've never studied philosophy. Okay, that's fine. That you've never listened or understood about metacognition, which is advanced metacognition is what I call what I study. And that would be something that I believe I'm entitled to study due to the fact that I have a brain and I think. And so, you know, cognition, we move our hands, we speak, we do things. Metacognition, you think about how you do things. You know, I think about thinking, you know. It's kind of weird. These thoughts just come to me. Where they come from, you know? Like sometimes I just think about something. Great,
I
bad.
ask myself that a lot.
And you know what? I find it funny that you went along with that question, because it's fairly something I'm quite familiar with. Having a bachelor's in psychology, it's something I deal with relatively often, where people are like, "Well, you can read into my mind, right?" No, I cannot read into your mind. What I can do is guide a conversation to simply help you dig through whatever the fuck is going on and help you get to that base and go through that exact thought process. And in the type of job that I do, what you just said there, presenting a thought, is something that we have to juggle with a lot, and something that's never discussed enough in my mind is what happens with the counselor. Like, let's go with something that I'm very familiar with, is suicide prevention. I've worked in that quite a bit, and the counselor will have thought about everything he says, or they say, my apologies, everything they say before saying it, and they have a reason for saying what they say. So in that sense, a counselor will not always be 100% truthful, in that they won't be telling you 100% of that thought process. Like if I say, let's say, Richard, you tell me something and you say, I'm pissed because, sorry, I don't even know what the fucking teams are playing tonight. But let's say I'm pissed that that team is losing. Yeah, I'm going to say, well, I can see clearly that you're pissed because of that, but I can ask, is there something underlying that? When in my mind, I'm thinking there might be something there. If I take more information from what I know of you, which in this case is absolutely nothing, I could make a link where, okay, there's this and that, and here's where I'd like to guide him in this conversation, in this going further, digging deeper a specific aspect. So I believe that in most conversations, thought is never fully transparent, is never fully given, because everybody will have a reason for saying what they're saying, right? And if we just went on and saying what we thought about what we want to say and why we want to say it, then a fucking conversation drags on forever, and you can't have a job interview that lasts less than 3 hours.
Where are you at, Topher and Spencer? I could respond to any topic or comment like this until the cows came home twice, went back out, and then thought about coming home a third time. So
I think I'm going to defer to our esteemed Jedi Master.
You defer to me? All right. What was the question again?
It's all good, brother. I love you. And if anyone who can see my mic is muted when it's not red, and I'm only shutting it off because my daughter's going to bed and she's putting up a fit because she doesn't want to. I don't want to fill the baby screams in the mic. But it is a real factor of being a parent. But no, I'm just curious, Spencer. Like, in your mind, your thoughts. Like, just do you think a lot about how you think? Do you think about who you are in your head? Do you have a person in your head who's not talking to us right now? You know what I mean? Like, I have whole realities in my head. Like, you know what I mean? I learned how to beat a polygraph at 13 because I built a reality in my head like Adam Sandler in fucking Happy Gilmore when he's in his happy place. Just go to your happy place. Like, I built that. So I have an advanced metacognition, a mall I lived at and was a mall rat at, and I just store information there. So when I go to think, I don't think about a thought. I think about a place that stores the thought. When that thought comes to me, it's coming from a place of my designation. And so when someone says, "Oh, Richard, did you kill Joseph Stevenson?" No, I did not. And you want to know why I did not? Because I said in my head I did not kill Joseph Stevenson in a pool at night at 3 a.m. in my Speedo. And so there's no emotional response to something that I'm not telling myself I did or did not do. If my reality and my mental reality are separate, there's no emotional response. You can achieve the same thing by stabbing yourself in the foot with a tack and raising your overall senses above what the polygraph can sense. There's hundreds of ways to beat it. The simplest one, be a fucking lunatic. And I got that in spades. So.
All right.
That's why polygraphs are not admissible in court.
Amen, brother. Amen. Power to the psychopaths.
Oh,
right.
God. What did I just step into?
You sure you want to know?
Oh, God, no. Please don't.
So if I'm going to answer this question about like what kind of voices are in my head,
Here we go.
it's like an iceberg. So it's like at the very tip is like your normal, like wake up, you're your average person, like in your mind is working at a very normal rate, right? And then after that, it's like, maybe the day continues, maybe I had some caffeine, and then the brain goes into a different thought pattern. And then it's like I could dig a little deeper, and I could perhaps have a glass of wine, and then my mind goes into a deeper place. And then it's like, anything I alter with the mind takes me into a deeper place where I go from the tip of the iceberg to the bottom of the iceberg. Now, when I get to the bottom of the iceberg, the thought patterns are a lot of fun down there because you're just ricocheting thoughts at a time. And sometimes you forget, but at the same time, who knows, maybe you can pick it back up again and run with it. Regardless, I think thoughts are just like...
Aside from the simple fact that it's a whole lot colder down in there and it's wet.
Well, it's a metaphor. Like,
I know.
I mean, like, I'm not trying to be like a bad iceberg. I'm just trying to be a good iceberg.
I'm not trying to be a bad iceberg. I'm telling you. No, man.
This is going to be a good night.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good night.
I brought this up in a Discord the other night. Every night when I'm bored, I'll hop into Discord, and there's a bunch of random Discord servers with tons of people. Like, I'm in a bunch of anime ones, and there's just 15 people sitting in a voice chat with their camera on chatting. And so I pop in and show some anime posters off, and it's fun. And dude, I'll everyone will leave, and it'll be me and someone else, and it'll be dumbed down enough to just a human on human, one-on-one. What are you doing? Oh, I'm fucking working on my stream. What are you doing? Oh, I'm playing a video game. And we're just talking, and I'll ask someone, I'll be like, what do you think? And like you just come across some people who have elaborate lines of thought in the same box that everyone walks on the sidewalk. Like, we all walk the same sidewalk, but maybe none of us think the same. I joke that I'm completely unique, and although that seems irrational based on the amount of people, it's like, well, I bet a lot of people feel that way. Like how many people feel like they relate to others, but they're completely unique? Probably everyone. I think that's a pretty big thing, right?
Is this guy in a union? Did he take a strike?
I find myself thinking about life, man.
Yeah, think about life, but think about the good, think about the bad, think about everything in between, and you got the facts of life. How you doing?
I do. I think about it all.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Thank you, brother.
I do, man.
Okay, so Sam, just in case you hadn't figured it out yet, we have fun. We're kind of serious, but at the same time, not so much. We just kind of chill out and have fun and talk about. This is basically how our conversations like Ricky and I when we used to spend hours and hours and hours together and talk about everything and nothing. That's how the idea got started.
You need to start that with not sexually, for the record. Like, for everyone's sake. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, we used to be coworkers.
No, he's not kidding. It didn't happen.
No.
Oh my god.
Jokes aside, but no, it's a journey, man, and I'm not as much worried about the summit. Like, the summit to me is the climax, and I'm the type of guy who likes the movie to end at the climax. Like, I don't need you to walk me out of all the characters' lives. You just walked me for an hour into them. Like, now you showed me the biggest thing that's ever happened to him. I'm satisfied. And I saw a movie the other night just like that. It's the reason I was thinking of it. The movie builds up, hour and like 20 minutes, and it was a 2-hour movie. Hour and 20, shit starts popping off. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Fucking hour 45, it wraps up to the climax, and then it ends in an hour 50, 10 minutes of credits. And it was like, I was talking to my girl, and I was like, I think this is going to end without anything after that. And, the whole time you're like, I want to see it. I want to see it. You want to see the one part that's making you like, and it ends at it. And I feel like that's at least life for me. Like, I feel like I'm always going to be learning, and I'm always going to be working, and I'm always going to be hobbying, if that's a word, for intents and purposes. But you gotta work it, I don't know. I probably drive myself insane thinking about stuff. But if I don't think about things, I feel like, I don't know. My control is rooted in understanding, and when I reach an area I can't understand, that's comforting.
Well, you know what? This conversation has been getting fairly deep, and I've had a bit of a thinking journey a couple of years ago, and I'm wondering if you guys want to accompany me along this and shoot the shit on it.
Do I have to pay anything?
No.
Okay.
Attention.
You don't have to pay anything except for attention and maybe trying to laugh. I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely.
So we're going all meta with this, and you were talking about metacognition, with essentially thinking about thinking, right? Yep. And I was thinking, this was years back at this point, and it comes back to a fucking shrimp. I was thinking about reality, and I was thinking about what it leads into our search for alien life. What I was thinking about reality is physics, matter. We know about 3 states of physics for the big general consensus. It's liquid, gaseous, solid, right?
You think there's a 4th one out there?
I'll keep going on the thought process, and I do think so, and here's why.
That's like a 5th element.
I'm gonna take a leak. Please carry us real quick. Be right back.
Mila Jovovich, 5th Element.
So, well,
love that movie.
Corbin Dallas.
I haven't seen those. I have not seen those.
So. I haven't seen it in so long. No, 5th Element was Bruce Willis, and it was really, really good. It was
It was a gem of a film. Anyway, back to your 4th layer there. Please continue.
So the 4th dimension. Were we talking about that earlier?
Oh, we were talking about that earlier. Yes. Sir.
So
anyway,
it's I wouldn't go as far as saying a 4th one, but just unknown ones that are not only a 4th. There might be a 5th. There might be a 6th. I don't know. And the reason I'm saying that is, you guys know, in the human eye, we can see 3 main colors, right? Blue, red, yellow, if I recall.
It depends on what we see. Okay, now that's been split. It depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about color, blue, red, and yellow. If you're talking about light, it's like blue, red, and green, I think.
Yeah, with the light spectrum, it's a bit different. But essentially, we have 3 types of cones in our eyes that allow us to see the mix of those 3 colors to an infinity of extent.
Yes.
However, here's where the shrimp comes in. Do you guys know about the mantis shrimp?
Yeah, I think it's see colors like you wouldn't believe. It's colors we don't even know.
It
have a name for it.
Yeah, it has 16 different cones in its eyes, so we can see theoretically, at least in my mind, up to 16 different main colors that we don't even know what the hell exists, and we cannot even imagine. And if I tell you, think up a new color, you can't. You just fucking can't.
So that guy, that thing probably ejaculates like rainbow colors.
Well, there you go. That's exactly how that goes.
I mean, sparkle. That's awesome.
You want a trip? Don't take magic mushrooms. Just drink some of the semen of that thing, and there you go.
Oh, we got it.
Semen. No, I don't ever think that, you know. And how much of that would you actually have to get to do any of their shrimp? How much of it would you have to do? You were talking about like enough to glaze a donut? That's a lot of shrimp, man.
Enough to glaze a donut.
So to get back to the link between colors and my theory on physics, and could even be generalized to aliens and that type of stuff, is if we're not even able to see the full spectrum of colors because we only have 3 cones like the different apes we are, then why
knock us down?
Why would there be only 3 types of physical states? And why couldn't there be more? And if I extend that to other types of life, well, they might simply be made in dimensions that we don't even know exist, in shapes of physics that we don't even know exist, and we can't comprehend because it's beyond our fist-sized brain.
So it sounds like you're kind of describing M theory there. Is that
M
where
theory?
you're Yeah, M theory. It's like an expanded version of string theory.
Go on. I'm unfamiliar with that.
Oh well, I can't paraphrase the whole thing, but like if you Wikipedia it, you'll learn plenty. All I could say is like M theory is like it describes about multiple dimensions, and like it's saying that like if Earth is in this, if the galaxy's in this one dimension, then therefore it's like the next level down would be like an altered dimension, and the next level down would be another altered dimension. So it's kind of like I don't know if you guys ever watched Spider-Man as a kid, the TV series, the cartoon TV series. There was like a later version where Spider-Man has to go to all these different dimensions to get other Spider-Mans.
Yeah, the multiverse, something like that.
All right, so that's basically a very primitive version of M theory right there. How it talks about going to different dimensions and actually collecting these other Peter Parkers that are an altered version of himself, just with a different fortunate outcome in the end.
I saw something like that in much more recent times. Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no, I caught the tail end of what you were saying there, Sam, and yeah, I've never heard about that either, Spencer. That's definitely something I'm gonna have to dive into. I don't know, all the stuff I study is kind of like a headache level. I feel like most people I try to bring it up to are like, do you really want to talk about that? And I accept that. Like I'm not, you know, I'm preaching to the choir when it comes to it. So I'm aware of that, but it's interesting to me. Like I wouldn't be myself if I didn't study existence, and I can't study your existence outside of anecdotal evidence, and there's billions of people when I'm only ever going to see a few million if I'm lucky, and I move around a lot. And so in that experience, okay, that's not enough for a proper anecdotal, you know, evaluation of anything. And so going, you know, shooting everything from the hip, I'm not aiming down sight. I don't see anything clearly. I'm just like, okay, we kind of get it. Let's go. I don't know, you know, especially being a dad now. Like I think about what I'm going to teach my daughter, you know, like, you know, when she starts asking me, you know, well, like,
What's the question you fear the most of her asking?
why am I alive?
What's your answer?
Not there yet.
What do you got so far?
I really don't know. Like that's the thing. Like so I could take my study on advanced metacognition and turn it on somebody to the point that it would make them sick, just because like I've lived my whole existence thinking about this stuff. So to bring it up to someone who's older than 40 is like, at least to me, it's like riding a bicycle, never understanding what pedals are. Like,
So what did you read to make yourself understand it?
I'm not. The only thing I understand is I don't understand anything.
You gotta understand something.
I understand I don't understand anything. You know, like I know things.
But you understand how a wheel works, right?
Yeah, but that's an item. Like I'm not talking about an item. I'm talking about something that cannot be equivocated physically, metaphorically. It's still loose and vague. It's not a liquid. It's not a gas. It's not like we can't even we don't even know what happens when it dies.
No, that's it. But that's everybody else. I mean, you have questions that nobody else can answer. It's not like anybody's withholding the answers from you.
I know. I just I don't know. The way I feel like the way I think is not the way regular people think, and I don't know if that's based on trauma or based on a lack of mental coalescence in some way. But I grew up listening to Sherlock Holmes, and so I kind of built my own world in my head. And if I were to Google, can I have a fake reality in my head? I bet the general consensus would be no. But if you study advanced memory techniques and you understand how short-term and long-term memory work, you can very quickly get to the assumption of I can control my brain, like very fast. And it's the same way. The way I describe it to someone who's unaware is like a heartbeat or like a blinking or breathing. You've lived all day and you didn't have to tell your brain breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You didn't say blink now. Unblink.
So following you on this train of thought there, Ricky, you made me think of a game I played not too long ago, Civilization 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of it. I definitely know what you're talking about. I haven't personally played it, but I know
And
Mm-hmm.
the reason I bring this up is that when you achieve new levels of research, they're often going to have just like a memento little quote from somebody. And one of the favorite quotes I have from that game is, if the brain were so simple so that we can understand it, we would be so simple that it would be impossible. And thinking about like listening to you go on about metacognition and advanced metacognition, wondering what you think of that.
No, I definitely think it's more complicated. The worst thing that I hate is that when I look up the thing that I study, you find so much, like disbelief, and it's like it's like having someone who doesn't believe in hypnosis try to get hypnotized. Like that's based on a manner of belief. There has literally been medical professionals who have done surgeries on people who were put out through hypnotism, and there has also been cases of people screaming immediately when the operation began. The difference, I believe, and that I think a hypnotist would agree, is acceptance. Like that, there's people who can open their mind and let someone walk in, and there's people who can't. And I can't tell you what's A and what's B, but I can tell you that there's people who can be knocked out through talking, and get cut open, something pulled out, something put in and sewed up, and they were spoke to sleep. Like if that doesn't fucking shake you to the core,
Well, it's a bit more complex than that. I know of a bit about hypnotism. I have somebody in my circle that actually practices hypnotism.
Safely, of course, right?
I'm sorry?
Safely, of course, right?
Yeah, well, therapeutically.
We don't want anybody being taken advantage of because somebody could easily hypnotize them.
Well, it's actually hypnotism does not work. Like you can't have somebody imitate a fucking chicken on stage. Sorry, that's acting. Sorry to all of you believers, that is acting. That's a person that was paid to be a fucking chicken on stage. Hypnotism does not allow that. You are fully conscious through a hypnotism experience, and it's not as much believing as it is accepting accepting what the person wants to bring you into. I don't know if you guys have ever tried meditation. I've discovered it a few years ago, and it's amazing. It allows you to just relax, be centered on your breath, be centered more on your existence, and allows you to slow down your brain when anxiety takes over or whatever else takes over. And hypnotism, it will actually it's a way for you to go deeper into your mind, not as much as sleep. It's more so just a state of meditation, a state of relaxation where your body is so relaxed through what the person has told you to focus on through specific points that you're able to bypass some of the defenses that we raise ourselves.
That makes sense when you put it like that. Either of you have anything to go off? Topher, Spencer, we got the thinker and the fister.
I'm going to leave it to the fister.
Okay.
The thinker and the fister, good God.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
But it
I'm
might.
scared to know what it. I'm scared to know what it means. Do I want to know? You tell me, Topher.
Well, I mean, I guess it could affect you depending on, whether. Anyway, no, we're not. We're not delving that deeply into that one, and pun definitely intended.
Oh, good God. Keep in mind, my podcast is named God, Dicks, and Puns, so I can go far on just shooting the shit.
Cool. So I want to rewind just for a second. I let things be serious for a minute. I want to rewind just for a second. The original question that you asked, Ricky, was when, my daughter asked me this, what do I say? The correct answer to that is go ask your mother.
Fuck no. That is not the answer I'm giving her.
It'll be a whole lot easier than yours and probably easier to deal with in the long run.
Yeah, but
I think I would double to you though. Just be like, listen, we're both got to do this together, and that way, when we walk away, at least all three of us know what was put on the table.
I don't know if I see eye to eye with
none of
her
you
either.
know. Okay, one, I was fucking with you, and two, none of you know what the answer is because nobody knows what the answer is.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just it's funny. You got to say something to them.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
why I
that's
said, go with the funny approach. Go ask your mother.
And I mean, then do you want to go with the cheesy answer that, well, you're alive to find out what you want to do in life and all that, versus the highly philosophical, well, we don't know exactly why we're alive and what existence is. There's the question you want to ask yourselves.
No,
Alive because mommy and daddy loved each other very much, at least for a minute. And in the end, we have children for two things: cheap labor, entertainment value. No, I don't really believe that, but that's my stock answer, just because.
and I'm with you. My only thing is that I'm not gonna get all caught up in like my morality, and lying to my daughter. Like I have no problem understanding that the concept of a white lie is derived from the reason of like someone growing up. Like I'm not gonna tell her that a baby comes out of a vagina at 3. Like that's just, it's not happening. So you say a stork, you say something else, and you leave it at something else until further notice.
I always just told my kids, you don't need to know that. Don't worry about it. We'll discuss it in about 10 years.
Well, if you knew me, which you do,
I do.
20 questions is my warm-up. The game is called 20 questions, and that's my warm-up. You know what I mean? So, like, the real game is 60 questions after the pregame 20 questions. I also have the aforementioned unspoken post questions, which we'll talk about later. So, my daughter's the same way. She's not even 3 years old, and she talks her brain off. Hey, Daddy, how was work? What's in your cooler? You got a juice in your pocket? How are you? Mwah. What's going on? Dude, she spits out more syllables in the first 30 seconds when I'm home than, you know what I mean?
That's cool, man. She's got a lot of TLC for you. I like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. And, the biggest thing I'm rolling with is I've solved my deficits, whether that be fragmentally or overall. I have. Like, I'm alive, and I may be depressed or sad or may have a hard day, but I've to the best mitigated what I can in that area. And I like understanding that if I've been through something that even societally isn't accepted or is, less than favorable, having the answers to those things for another person who is my responsibility is kind of beneficial. I may not be proud that I used to be a drug addict. I may not be proud that I used to, be involved in crime or nefarious activities. But in the long run, not accepting those things, lying, having a facade upon those things would be a travesty compared to accepting and making them the forefront. And so it's like that's my acceptance. Other people may hide and mitigate and add illusory elements to their life, and it's their life. Kudos to them for taking control. But I kind of want to grab the bull by the horns here, and if you don't like who I am, well then there's only 7 billion other people who I can try to get along with.
Richard, I like you for who you are.
Thank you, brother. I like you for who you are.
We love you, brother. All right, I'm going to derail us just for a minute here.
Go for it.
Probably, hopefully, for more than a minute. So I'm kind of half-assed watching some of the commercials because it's halftime, and there's a new series. I didn't catch what it's on, but are any of you familiar with Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, I heard of the thing. Didn't they make that in a movie?
Yeah.
There's
You've
a
never
book
seen it?
into a movie. It's good. It's a good book, good movie.
It's a good book. It's a good movie. Let me tell you.
I've heard of it, but I haven't consumed anything on it. Been too caught up with the rest of life.
Silence of the Lambs is a classic. It's a horror movie, but it's not like a horror. It's not like gory. It's more like suspense.
There's no horror.
It's
a thriller.
There's a little blood in places, but it's more suspense and whatever. But so it's really, really awesome. But anyway, I'm watching the commercials here. Clarice. It appears to be about her growing up and how she.
So we're gonna hear those lambs cry. Is that what it is? We'll hear the lambs cry.
Basically, because some of what I saw on there, one of them was her carrying a lamb down the road, and there was she had this huge moth on her mouth in one part. So yeah, it's all.
Maybe it's just all a dream sequence too.
Oh.
Hey,
Any you guys have Disney Plus? If you've been watching WandaVision,
I got Disney Plus. I haven't watched WandaVision. I'm waiting for it to all be over. That way I could watch it in one lump sum.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed that we didn't do that because now we watch last weekend we watched the first 4 episodes. Just binged it. All right, yeah. And we were good. 4 episodes, that's a good little chunk, and we're going to go do something else now.
Yeah.
This weekend we got to watch episode 5, and that's it.
That's it.
And we're
God.
Now you got to wait till next week.
Yes.
Yeah,
get that small little fix-it. You want the large fix-it.
Yeah, so I understand, but it's it's so good, and it's not what you would have thought it would be, and you go through it and you keep going and you go, oh.
Ooh.
It
sounds like the show's an onion, and it just has a lot of layers to it.
It does, very, very much so. It's like an ogre.
It's like an ogre.
Ogres are like onions. They smell bad and nobody likes them. Never forget.
Oh God! I rewatched Trek. It was probably a couple months ago at this point, and holy crap, the amount of references in that movie. I hadn't watched it in like 15 years, but then at dinner, with quarantine, we don't know what the fuck to talk about. We're with each other 24/7, so just find something else to do, right? We watched Shrek. Holy crap! I wasn't able to keep track of most of the fucking references, and when I looked online, I think it's over 150 references in that damn movie.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty about it. There's so many that you can just kind of keep rewatching it, and you pick up on new layers. So it's like, hey, why not? But I'm glad to see you have enough time in the world to watch the Shrek series and not have enough time in the world to watch the Silence of the Lambs.
Well, it's more so that just like it's not the type of film that I was thinking about watching, and
you're actually major. That's like film.
I didn't know that. All I know about the Silence of the Lambs is English isn't my first language. French is my first language, and the Silence of the Lambs in French is called Le Seigneur des Anneaux.
Ooh.
And that's Lord of the Rings. Silence of the Lamb is Silence des Agneaux. put those two really close together in the head of a 7-year-old when both of those films are at the peak of their freaking popularity. Le Seigneur des Anneaux et Le Silence des Agneaux. The only link I do is it seems so close to Lord of the Rings that I'm not sure if I should watch it or not because it might take my Lord of the Rings.
Yo, hearing another language, like on the fly, like, you know, how someone speaks Spanglish, like goes from Spanish to English, bink, bink, and you just went Franglish, French to English real quick, I think.
Franglish.
It sounds attractive. Like, I don't mean to be weird, but like, dude, another language, I don't speak another language well enough.
No, you don't mean
speak...
to do it. You just it just comes natural.
So hang on. Let me do the stereotypical ones. Baguette, croissant.
Yo, so what can you tell me about Canada? Like, you know, told you I've never been there. Don't know nothing. I'm about to go there. As a person from there, what do you got?
Well, for one, I'm going to take your cultural background from the USA, and I'm going to tell you that Starbucks is not at every street corner here. What you're looking for is Tim Hortons.
What is it? What is it called?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
It's your basic coffee and donut shop, but they are at every street corner. I mean,
So it's like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. It's pretty much the Canadian stereotypical Dunkin' Donuts. We do have some Dunkin' Donuts, but Tim's really is fucking everywhere. And every time we do a road trip, the first stop is Tim Hortons. I don't care who you are, but that's what it is.
Like their donuts are double glazed or something. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I used to work at Tim Hortons, and when I was a baker there, I know that some people really liked my donuts because I triple glaze sometimes. Let's give you a bit more for your money.
See, when I was living in the Midwest, Dunkin' Donuts isn't a big thing down there in the South. It's Krispy Kreme, and I've had Krispy Kreme donuts, and generally speaking, and again, you know, with everything else, this is my personal opinion. Doesn't mean squat. I wasn't impressed with the donuts. Now, I'm used to going to Dunkin' Donuts because I'm a Yankee, and whatever there is, it's either fairly fresh or it's made so and it's done so it still tastes like a fresh donut, you know. I just, something about the difference between them, I wasn't impressed with the donuts. But I was taken there one day to get a couple of things, and we just happened to show up when they had the sign lit up saying fresh hot donuts, and we went, okay. So if you go in there when that sign is lit up, when they're actually making them, they're coming through the conveyor, they're fresh, they got nice hot glaze on them. They are the most amazing pastry ever.
Are they actually handmade over there, or is it just like something that they thaw down and heat up in an oven?
I think they're handmade. I think they make them fresh.
They do,
Okay.
Which is good. The problem is they don't, if you let them sit for a little while, they're not anywhere near comparable to a D&D donut.
Yeah, but you know what? The Tim Hortons is actually the Krispy Kremes is a more better thing to compare Tim Hortons to, because that is really what Tim Hortons is. It's like a Krispy Kreme because they really dive into, like, you know, having the average Joe coffee. Plus, like, you know, their whole shebang are the donuts, and the donuts are big fresh at both locations. I mean, Tim Hortons and Krispy Kreme, that's their whole gimmick. Unlike Dunkin' Donuts, where their gimmick is just having good donuts.
Yeah, Tim's is a bit stronger on the coffee side as compared to the donut side. Like,
I wouldn't call it stronger. I would just call it shittier. It's got too much of like a hard metallic taste. And like I know any coffee drinker who knows what I'm talking about with a metallic taste knows that, like, that is some low dirty coffee. Like, it's
clearly.
it's good enough to get to you to work, just to get you to work, and that's about it.
Oh yeah, I fully
You're
agree.
better off pouring that hot coffee on your lap, because it's better off working to wake you up that way.
All right.
Oh god. Well, I mean, they pay like what, 10 cents a fucking pouch, and that does 2 to 3 coffees. So yeah, that quality is going to be absolute shit. But I mean, when you're on a long drive and I don't feel like spending $6 on a cup of coffee. Well, Tim's works.
Yeah.
but
So
you can make your own coffee too.
Yeah, I do make my own coffee, but when I'm driving fucking 7 hours to go out north and just have fun seeing one of the beautiful sights in Quebec, well, I'm not gonna make a full 2-liter thermos of coffee, right?
I just have to have a thermos. Like a thermos full of coffee, you just got in the nook right there, keeping it nice and warm. You don't ask me. I'm like the wild chef, man. I'm just like, give me a contraption, I'll figure out how to keep this thing warm. You want coffee for 7 hours? No problem.
you want coffee for 7 hours? I got you.
Oh god. Otherwise, to get back to your original question, Richard, for talk to you about Canada. Canada is a very wild place in that most of the country is uninhabited. The highest majority of us are down south, closer to the border, and if you go in the territories, you're just going to be in full fucking wildlife. But Canada has
all the shit we've seen about Alaska ain't got nothing on the real. This is like, we're talking like close to Siberia type shit here.
Yeah, I mean, if we go far north, I mean, the North Pole is geographically in Canada. Actual North Pole. My father told me.
Santa lives?
Let me ask you something. With global warming and everything, do you imagine that over the course of time that the upper parts of Canada will be more habitated, like let's say in the next 50 to 75 years?
I honestly doubt that, for the simple reason that the higher parts are more prone to a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of woodworking. I think there's a lot of oil extraction also in the northern parts of Canada, in the territories. And the hubs of Canada are already well geographically placed. If we're thinking about Montreal, if we're thinking about Toronto, thinking about Ottawa, Quebec City, and this is just the eastern parts of Canada. I'm in Quebec, so I don't know much about the plains and Columbia, British Columbia, there we go. But the northern parts, there's not enough there to really provoke an exodus of population. So as much as it's a great place, if you don't like people and you like to just live off the land, go towards the territories. Or I know there's a lot of also First Nations populations there. They enjoy that lifestyle, go for it. But I don't think that there will be much of a mass exodus towards the north. I think it's going to be more towards the center as sea levels rise. Like, I'm concerned about the Maritimes. If we think about places like Prince Edward Island, or another big hub is Halifax.
Great hockey team. You know that one goon? Halifax.
Sounds like a town in Connecticut.
Those are places that do concern me to a certain extent. I'm not that good in geography, nor with what global warming is going to have in terms of consequences, but there are definitely places that might have a rush of population towards the more center parts of Canada.
So Sam, I got a live chat here, and I got someone asking about something in Canada. Are you willing to respond?
Sure, hit me up.
So they were curious about the waiting times in Canadian healthcare, and
oh God, I actually spoke about that while I was guesting on another pod.
I don't know anything about it, so please enlighten us.
The waiting times are horrible. Before I answer your question, viewer, I want to tell you a story I heard years ago. One of my friends went down to Florida for this recreational trip, and they hurt their ankle, had to go to the hospital, and within 15 minutes, they were served. And for me, when my friend was telling me that, mine is fucking blown. Because if we go to the hospital here, I went to the hospital not that long ago for an infection on one of my toes, simply because I didn't have access. No clinics were open. This is Christmas time. I go there. I bring a full 1,000-page book to pass the time. and the guys tell me, you're going to be waiting here for 20 hours at the very least, and your thing is not life threatening, so it might probably be even more than 20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually lucky multiple years ago, had a fracture on my arm, went to the hospital 16 hours just to get my arm bandaged up sufficiently to last the night, and then go back to another hospital in the morning and actually get a proper cast around my arm. So the waiting times are absolutely horrid, but at the same time, we don't leave with a bill of $5,000.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything like you guys have in Canada, so I mean, is that a big thing going on that's been going on a long time, or is this like, are you guys rapidly changing what's going on up there, or
Well, we're talking about public services. It is the slowest thing possible. Bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for as long as I've lived, hospital waiting times have been extremely long, and there's a lot to do with how, at least this is my opinion, I think there's a lot to do with how the healthcare staff are paid.
Mm-hmm.
At least here in Quebec, they are underpaid as compared to our neighbors to the west, Ontario, and our neighbors to the south, you guys. Our healthcare staff are vastly underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there is a huge lack in staff that make up this extremely long wait time, and it's not something that's going to change. I mean, not until we have a dramatic change in the way our government works, and just radical baseline change.
It's kind of hard to have that happen in general anywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky in that in our politics system we have multiple parties. I know you guys have Democrats and Republicans. We have a lot more than that. If I go with federal, we have New Democratic Party. We have liberals, conservatives, and a couple more. Won't go too long on that.
Uh-huh.
But we do have the choice to have different types of government with different ideals come in and provoke some of that change. About 6 years ago, no, a bit more than that, we had a big point where we had a new type of government formed, the opposition, which for you guys I think would be the equivalent of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And that leader had new, beautiful, radical ideas. I'm more of a left-wing person,
Mm-hmm.
so I was very much inclined to follow along with that person. Sadly, that leader died. But it just goes to show that the change can happen, but it's extremely unlikely.
I can relate to that. I wish for changes in lots of things, but for society, a lesson I learned over time that I believe to be true is, for society to move ahead, we have to move as slow as our slowest member. And so,
Yeah.
It's like we didn't need speed limits if everybody just understood safety. But because of that one fucking dude named Kevin, who did 100, now we can no longer have, and we can no longer have unjustified mayhem on roadways. And it's like that extends to everything, and it gets crazier with the internet, and it gets crazier with just the amount of variables. I mean, when I really think about it, I'm 26. Like, the amount of stuff that's happened in the world in 50 years, in double my lifetime, is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, we've multiple rocket companies. We've got people talking about hotels on the moon, outlandishly talking about, you know what I mean, colonizing Mars, where geoengineering. Like, just every day I learn about something new that I hadn't heard about yet, and then I'm like, whoa. And it's, I don't know, I'm super happy to be alive during this time, but I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Like, we're either going to end up super prosperous, or we are going to regress into a state that in 20 years we all refer to this time as the good days. And
I mean, it might happen, and honestly, I think it will happen, at least in some domains. I mean, if I think about, like, just now we were talking about healthcare. We are right now in a golden age of healthcare as compared to let's look at 100 years ago. But as compared to in 20 years from now, we are in the fucking dark age in terms of um, gigabyte capacity or just mobile memory. So in some regards, I think that we are still going to be in 20 years at the same place where we are right now. But in other regards, we don't understand shit as compared to what we're going to understand in 20 years, right?
Amen. You know, it's like it's like relativity. I remember that day in science class when my teacher was like, if you're in a car going 60 miles an hour, how fast is your seat going in relativity to you? You know, and it's like, oh shit, you realize that everything in the car is going 0 miles an hour. But the car, in relativity to what the car is sitting on due to gravity's, constraints, that's what's going the speed you're equivocating.
Yeah, and you just reminded me of something I saw in Mythbusters years ago. You know that show?
Dude, I love that show. Those guys are geniuses, and the fact that they were able to have their they're my heroes in the sense that they were able to do, dream their dream job every day as a job. But yeah, what about Mythbusters caught you?
It was that experiment where in games where you have the car coming up to an open trailer and the car just swoops in without any sort of issue at all, rather than just hitting something that technically is going at 0% or 0 miles an hour. They try it and turns out the car just actually goes in without a hitch. It doesn't need to. It doesn't speed up or slow down. It just straight goes in the fucking trailer. And
have you ever seen a hairless cat?
No.
I can solve
Twice
that
today. Twice.
100 times every day. This is Blue. She's 1 year old. She's 5 pounds. She is adorable. Oh, she's so warm. She's one of my 2 hairless cats I own, and she is precious. She's a little cutie. She's tiny.
Aww.
Super cute.
I'm surprised that my potato cat didn't come back in the room.
Apologies for hitting the mic there. So someone just commented here, and they're saying that there was a Super Bowl commercial asking civilians to comment if they're interested in going to space. So, Samuel, would you trade everything you have for a pursuit in space?
It's the next frontier.
It's a question though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like my life. I like what I have. I'm a material person and I'm full of bullshit. But to be honest, like I wouldn't want to trade that for a coin flip at a better life. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, like if we want to go a bit deeper into this, no. No.
No.
I mean, I've built a life here. I've managed to create. I found a beautiful fiance, a great place to live, and for a chance to just hop on a plane and go just a tad over whatever layer of atmosphere it brings me to be technically in space, it's not worth it. Would you dump everything you have for 1 hour of sex with the greatest porn star that ever lived? No. Fuck no.
No,
Right?
but that doesn't interest me so much.
So not to cut anyone off here, and we're gonna keep rolling here. The Super Bowl is back on. We haven't touched on it in a moment. Kansas,
It's been back on.
yeah, I know that, but we were having a great conversation for the 3/4 of the third quarter. It's 9-28. Tom Brady is fucking doing what Tom Brady does. He's about to get another Super Bowl ring. Not saying that for sure, but he's a second half team, and he's got a quad 400% lead or 300% lead.
28-9. We got 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
It's not looking good. But Spencer here has been here the duration, and he's gotta get going. So he wanted me to mention Letterbox at Rufio86. He had to go. It's past that time. But yeah, everyone. thank you for watching Spencer. Oh, we're gonna keep rolling here. If you need to get going at any point, Samuel, please let us know. We're probably gonna roll here till the end of a Super Bowl, which, you know, being what it is, probably another 45 minutes, an hour or something. But if, you know, any point you want to go, please just let us know.
Well, I still got a few minutes. I know words are hard.
Words.
Some
Hello.
days, yeah. That's what my problem is. I stutter sometimes, but it's not a stutter. It's not a speech impediment. Shit, bottlenecks.
Oh yeah, I have that so often. And thank God for editing. Thank
know,
absolute
right?
God for editing. When I'm doing my shit as the host and the DM for my podcast, I have to talk a lot and explain a lot, contextualize a lot. But then when I'm thinking like, okay, this is that creature's name and this is a location where they're at, they mix together. That doesn't work. That's not good. So yes, words are fucking hard.
Dude, they suck sometimes. I had a moment at work like 2 days ago. I went to speak to somebody and like phlegm caught me in the throat. So I was like, huh. And then I cleared my throat and I tried to speak again and went, huh. And I was like, son of a bitch. And, you know, 10 seconds have went by since I've been trying to speak to this person. And finally I just, you know, turned to the side and make a big cough and then turn and start speaking. But I'm like, Jesus, like when you're trying to, you know, make your body do something simple and your body's like, no, we're in your way now. Super funny. So you mentioned earlier you don't follow hockey, and you're definitely not following U.S. NFL. So where do your hobbies lie outside of a podcast, Samuel?
My hobbies, as I said, I used to be an accomplished martial artist, so that was one of the big hobbies I had for most of my life. Sadly, COVID struck, and it's not something I can continue on presently. But as soon as this whole shebang dies down, I'm getting right back into that. I cannot wait to lay waste to 1 or 2 punching bags. Otherwise, well, you guys have probably already guessed it, but I do game quite a fair bit. More of a console gamer.
Are you on the X side or the P side?
I'm on the P side.
Okay.
Used to be on the X, but went down to the P.
Yep. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
I like how he said went down to the P though. He knows what's better.
Oh, come on. Don't start that. Don't start that.
But yeah, no, I played Xbox for like 8 years, PS4 for 1, and I'm on PC for 1 now. And I'm a big fan. I built this last year in February.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's the first thing I noticed coming in. Not your whole setup, not your whole posters in the back and Christmas decorations even farther back. No, that beast.
Go up in February.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, no, I got full RGB controllers and like 60 LED lights, and I just got this new GPU support bracket right here to hold my GPU up and add some color. And I bought this light bracket that was in my case, but it was too bright for my case, so it's now backlighting my computer. It's too bright for cameras. It looks like I'm holding a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be blind just looking at your screen.
Every now and then I'll back up and I'll act like that dude from X-Men, or the girl actually, Storm. I'll be like, you know what I mean? But no, so this wasn't my case, but it made my case so bright that you couldn't see anything else, so I threw it back here. Now I have backlighting.
It looks good. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at it on Amazon. It was like $17, and it plugged into a port that was free anyways. And yeah, so that's basically where I'm at. Every day I look at my computer and I see what port is open, and I see what things could be there, and I buy them. No, dude, computers are so cool. The difference is like there's just the gate of it. Like I had the PS1 demo and the PS2 and I've been all through it. I remember playing the first Guitar Hero like crazy, dude, stealing Mike's Hard Lemonades from my parents. You know what I mean?
The absolute worst, hardest song on any Guitar Hero was when you beat the one, and at the end was Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force.
God.
Oh yeah.
That was fucking ridiculous.
In that same Guitar Hero, I think it was Guitar Hero 3. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But
I
in
don't
that
even
very
remember it was that long
same
ago.
in that very same Guitar Hero, I loved the song Against the Devil. I don't know if you guys recall, but you play a song against the devil that it's
Oh,
it's a
it was
revamped.
it was a
Yeah,
newer version of Devil Went Down to Georgia. It was by
Yeah.
I actually have the song. I downloaded it. I found it and downloaded it, and it's on my hard drive. I can't remember who it is.
I love that song so
It's
much,
not
and
like I can play it for you, but
I played that specific round over and over and over just because I love that song so freaking much. It sounds so good, but when I was looking it up on YouTube, this is a decade back at this point at the very least. When I was trying to find it on YouTube, the actual more metal version, couldn't find it. So I was like, fuck. So just play it over and over and over.
No, most definitely. So you're a console gamer. So do you have a computer or?
Well, let me put this straight. Zoom is a computer app, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean we've had plenty of people be guests on their phone. You know.
Right, I forgot about that functionality. Oh, I do have a computer. I'm rocking a student notebook right now when I'm talking to you guys. Just the very basic stuff. Core i5, 7th generation Intel. Like, there's nothing very fantastic about this computer. It's really just to get me through the rest of university. But once I have a more stable job and more stable situation, then I do have that urge to get a good computer so I can run better games. One of the games that I've gone back to recently that the love is never going to die out is Diablo 2.
No, dude, you had me there, man.
I've played that forever.
The difference between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 that honestly made me just giddy was the fact of the runes and how finding the runes meant you could make different combinations, and you had Enigma and Chain of Arms and all, back when World of Warcraft rather was at large, I was on D2. You know what I mean? Everyone was paying $15 a month for World of Warcraft. I was getting, a one-time purchase, freaking Diablo 2 lifetime, and I was grinding. And God, I remember those days.
Just the other day, I was getting back on it and got my necromancer. The first time I ever built a necromancer that's able to run through the entire game on just players 8, because running on players 1, screw that noise. Just rushing through that, God, it felt so good.
Yeah, no, I think about that like, shit, what about in 20 years? Like, we're going to have full body, immersive, strap on your head, super video games, and we're going to think back to the day when all you did was hold something. Side note, it's 31-9 right now. Tom Brady is a fucking monster. He goes home and he just holds Superbowl rings. You know what I mean? Like, and Eddie Murphy's in these commercials. Hilarious. This looks like a movie preview. No, it's hilarious. Oh my God. So Sam, where exactly do you reside in Canada? Not your town. I'm not trying to dox you, but geographically, are you more eastern or western, or where are you at?
I'm on the East Coast. I'll go right out and say it. I'm in Montreal. Anyways, good luck finding me in Montreal. It's such a huge town that. I moved here quite a while back now, and it's absolutely great. I come from a smaller suburban area in somewhere a bit more western of Quebec. But I moved to essentially what's the big city in Quebec, and it's amazing. Like, just these simple little things like public transit. Where I used to be, just to go to school would take me an hour and a half, and then an hour and a half back. But now I can literally walk down the street, and I have a bus that at any time of day will be there at every 10 minutes. That's unheard of where I come from. So for me, it's it was a great, nice change and very welcome one as well.
That's
And where are
really
you guys
cool.
from?
Topher, you wanna take this rap? You're from here a lot more than I am.
From here a lot more. Well, originally I was born in Dutchess County, New York, but I have spent the vast majority of my life in Vermont. So we live, really not that far from you. I mean, it's a few hours, but it's only just a few hours. And
Yeah.
I expect our terrain and everything is a whole lot like we actually had when I was growing up. I lived 2 miles up a dirt road with no electricity. And we had phone lines, but it was a party phone. And whatever, I'm dating myself. Yeah, there's a reason I called you damn kids earlier. My stepfather, one of his friends lived right there. There was like us here in the trailer, and then over here was his little brother, and over here was their friend Don. And there was this other house here that had another family in it for a little while. A couple of kids. One was in my grade and one married. But in any case, so not his brother, but the other guy over here, who, by the way, another, doesn't mean anything, but the guy made some of the most gorgeous totem poles I'd ever seen in my life. Hand carved them, had a couple of them outside, sunk into his lawn. Amazing work. The man was an amazing carpenter. He was also a really, really bad chronic alcoholic, and he died of liver poisoning. His liver just shut down. Alcohol poisoning fucked him up, killed him. But his girlfriend was French Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't speak much English. I remember her name was Gaëtan.
Gaëtan.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I remember that she could cook. Wow, could that woman cook?
That sounds misogynistic. I hear it.
Yeah, well, and from the conversation.
Watch out, chat.
Yeah, right. I was a kid. I was like 10, 11, 12. The conversations they were having, she was good in other places too, but whatever.
We'll just segue past that, but
yeah. But anyway, that was like the French Canadian thing. That was their. It was that close. We have one of the companies I worked for years ago. The boys, the three of them that owned the company at that point, were American, but their parents were both French Canadian, and still to this day had the thickest accents ever. What they would do, in the spring they would go up to Canada, and then right around the holidays, right around November, mid-November, so they were here for Thanksgiving and Christmas, they would come to Vermont on their way south and spend the rest of the winter in the south, come back up in the spring, right around Easter or whatever, and then go back up into Canada.
Yeah, the snowbirds that they call them.
Yeah. See, I've seen a lot of people in my time go doing that here in Vermont too, but again, it all comes back to the same thing. We're not really a whole, other than language barriers in some places, because a lot of us don't know French anymore. I know a very, very bare minimum, and I probably couldn't even carry on a small conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back in 5th grade, maybe, because it was mandatory then. But again, we're talking about another age.
Yeah,
probably before either one of you
when
were
the
even
dinosaurs were around. You remember?
Yes, exactly.
Back when the Romans were sculpting columns out of freaking salt deposits.
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
sir.
Actually,
we were still throwing virgins into the volcanoes at that point.
Actually, speaking of Vermont, are you guys into any winter sports?
I like snowboarding, but I have to weigh the equivocation of, is it worth breaking my ankle to have fun when I have to support a family? So
There's that there's that consideration. I'm not a father yet, so I don't have that limitation.
so break your body. That's all. That's my advice to you. You need to
Yeah,
need to
well, you
think
still
of.
can while nobody else is counting on you.
Hey man, we're both fathers. Me and Chris are both fathers.
it's
I haven't been on a snowboard in almost 30 years, so
Oh goodness me.
yeah.
I haven't
The
been on
last
one
time I
in-
went out, my girlfriend at the time kind of banned me from ever doing it again because I worked at a ski resort. So I went out there on a weekend. It was beautiful. I've been like taking lessons and I figured out and I've been running down doing the hills on my own and I was loving it, having a grand old fucking time. Well, I went out on this one day. I got up in the morning, took the bus up the mountain because I worked there. I had dollar rentals and free pass. So I went up on the hill and I'm like, awesome, this is great. Well, I didn't realize this. The reason that nobody else was around was because the day before the sun had come out just enough to not really melt anything, but make that top layer a little softer, and then it froze overnight. So by the time I got up to the top of the hill, I was sliding down a sheet of glass.
Oh yeah.
Mostly
that
on my
feeling.
ass and my back and my head. Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
she told me, no, you're done. but no, you're done.
Oh God, I'm not a snowboarder. I tried once snowboarding, and you know when you're into skiing or snowboarding, the first day you spend it on your ass. It is an obligation, right? So I go up. I've been skiing 3 years at this point. I go up to the mountain with a couple of guys, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what? Try snowboarding just for fun." Like, you guys sure? I mean, I'm a skier. I got my skis. I got it. You know what? Fine. Let's give it a shot.
Fuck it.
Good God, I never got as sore and as hurt as that freaking day.
You know,
I vividly remember I think it was the last run of the night. After that, I just said, guys, if you want to go, go. But I'm fucking drinking a beer in the chalet. Screw you guys. I crashed going down the hill, but I didn't slow down enough. So at some point, I just look in front of me and I see this boulder of snow and probably some level of ice careening towards me. And I'm like, crap, how do I manage just in time? I get the snowboard in front of me and I see it boom, bend as I crash. I'm like, fuck. Good thing there was a rental. And
Right.
good thing that thing hit it and not my body. Ever since then, no snowboarding. Just I'm sticking to skiing. Screw that noise.
So I've only went twice now. And my first time I went, it was an entire day on some rental gear of falling down a mountain, like gravity in its finest effect, just over and over.
Oh, yeah.
You got in. I skateboarded, so I had a little bit of training. You know, I had a little bit of oomph behind my lessons, and you know how to you know what I mean, curve and stuff like that. So it made it a little bit easier. But the first day, man, I tell you, 12 hours of falling down the mountain. I bet I went down the mountain 40 times, and I never once made it down the mountain perfectly without falling until my last time. On the very last time down the mountain, the last run of the day, beaten, sore. I'd be bruised if they could have shown up in that amount of time physiologically, but they couldn't. and I went down and I made the whole mountain, one go, boom. Compared to where I live now in the mountains, like in Vermont, the mountains out here make the mountain that I've in my, you know, in the aforementioned that I went down look like a baby. You know?
Well, actually, that was going to be one of my questions to you guys. Vermont is a hotspot where I want to go ski at some point, and the mountains that we have here in Quebec, for the most part, they are hills. They are not mountains. I finished my run in about, like, it takes 15 minutes to get up to the top, and it takes 3 minutes, and I'm done. Is that the same for you guys in Vermont, or do you guys have proper mountains that it takes you like at least 20-25 minutes to get down to the bottom?
I mean, we have enough. I haven't personally done it, but I can tell you from secondhand experience, or third hand rather, that in a snowstorm, there's a correlation of mountains with connecting lifts that you can get lost on. Like
Really?
in completely normal visibility, you can see your trajectory, you can see where you're trying to go. You go from lift A to lift D to lift F, bada bing, bada boom, you're back at the shelter. But in a blizzard, you have to deal with two factors. You're on something that goes downhill fast. And if you're skating these areas that go from lift to lift to lift on mountain to mountain to mountain, you're in areas that are most often single and double black diamonds. And so you need to be at the best of your ability in the highest of danger that you could be on the mountain, while sequentially following maps, getting on the correct lifts. And there was an ex-girlfriend I had whose parents told me they went from, New Hampshire, where I lived at the time, to Vermont. And they went on the mountains, and they were like, it was a fucking blizzard, and we were reading the little totem poles and trying to go the right places, but you'd read the little board that told you where to go, and then you had to snowboard a mile to the next board to get on the lift, and a third of a mile later, you're stuck in a blizzard, and you don't know your ass from your elbow. I mean, you'd think it makes sense what part of the mountain is up and what part is down, but when you reach a part of the mountain that isn't 45 degrees, it's, like 22, it's very vague which way is the correct way. And if you go left, you end up fucking half a mile from the trajectory where the lift is. And in a blizzard, you can see 3 feet in front of your face. Add goggles, sweat, and perspiration into that, and it's like, fuck me in the anus twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, with that elongated answer, it's decided that at some point I will be going down to Vermont and trying my luck at those mountains there, because spending 15 minutes going up on a lift to simply have a 3-minute drop down to back to base camp, gets old relatively quickly. Like, it's still fun to get out there and get cold and just fucking have fun, but
now that I think about it, like when the mountain that I took my first trip on, I bet it was less than a minute. I bet really, I mean, you move fast on a snowboard, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can carve and mitigate how fast you're going, but if you just bullet, like, I guarantee it was 60 seconds down this mountain. And I'm talking about Pat's Peak in New Hampshire. And it seemed much faster. Maybe my memory is fucking with me here, but
No,
it's something I really want to do. I really want to go, but I want to buy a nice Burton snowboard and buy some gear and get the proper stuff. I remember being 14 and thinking about, I'm not able to buy a dirt bike suit or this suit or that suit because I'm going to grow, and it would be fiscally irresponsible to buy something I'm not going to be able to wear in a year. That's where I'm going to grow regardless. So I shouldn't buy something I'm not going to be able to wear. And I was right to do so because I never wasted money. But now that I'm kind of at my permanent size and I'm at the earliest age I can be to do things prior to the latest age I can be before I hurt myself, so I want to start snowboarding and stuff. But maybe
how
next
do you know
year.
it would have been a waste of money? Maybe you would have been a prodigy and one of the greatest dirt bike racers of all time, in which case you would have won lots of money, and the amount you spend on that first suit would have been nothing compared to the amount of money you would have gotten from sponsors and gotten free
there you go.
top
There you
of
go.
the line
Positivity.
suits all day, every day.
No, you're right, man.
Dream big. Go big or go home, man.
Right?
No, I'm with you in essence, totally. But no,
It's all about risk, brother. All day, every day, everything is about risk.
I'm super excited to be able to get a snowboard and a really cool snowboarding suit and actually traverse mountains of some level of difficulty. I hit my first jump on a snowboard and I felt like a fucking kid in a candy store. There was I went down the mountain. So my first time I went, I fell down the mountain the entire time until the last time where I made it once. But the second time I went, my girlfriend, who was experienced, she fell the whole time, and I was boarding like a pro. you know, and so it was this weird influx now of I snowboarded my first time and sucked, haven't snowboarded in 2 years, snowboarding for my second time. The person who's experienced fell on their face 15 times, and I went down the mountain top to bottom seamlessly. And like I said, I skateboarded for 10 years, so like I picked things up quick and good for me. But it was like, so I've only been twice total. Once a travesty, except for once on that day, and the second time completely seamless. So I'm either gonna get on a board in Vermont and shred, or get on a board in Vermont and hit a tree at Mach 4. You know what I mean?
Oh God, you just reminded me. One last story about skiing, and this is, of course, the best stories are crashing stories, always. This was fucking hell. Again, so many years back, but essentially, I was skiing with my best friend, and I had my sunglasses on for most of the day because it was a bright blue sky, great, beautiful day for skiing. And I get to this cliff it starts dropping down, but then it drops down ever so more steeply afterwards. And that's the point where, that's the point where I decided to take off my sunglasses because the sun was getting just low enough, and I was like, I want to feel the full wind. Let's go. What happened there is, as soon as I took off my glasses and I picked up some speed, they were blowing snow. I got a bit of snow in my eyes, broke my concentration for just that second, hit a fucking slit of ice, and of course, there goes Sam on the hill. Sam on the hill goes round and round, round and round, round and round.
Yep.
My best friend was looking at me, said, all I was seeing was a ball of white powder. I did not know where you were in that ball, and just, I saw you fly down. While in my head, all I have is, oh, I'm rolling. I am still rolling. I probably no longer have skis on my boot, but I am still rolling.
Still rolling.
Am I done? Nope. Not yet. Oh, I'm still rolling. Wait. Okay, now I think I'm done. Lying face down in the snow. All right, let's see if my limbs are still working. Well, in the meantime, I just hear my best friend, ah, shit. And I just look at the guy as soon as he gets to me and like, I'm getting back on that cliff and I am beating it. Fuck it. Oh, fun times.
That is hilarious. Man, I'm so excited to go again, you know, and I'm definitely gonna go again. I've just got back into working out. The willpower for me to be able to work out it's a battle, you know, like it's not
Some
easy.
days.
You know, I fucking fight myself over and over. Like I'll think about it, like I don't need to do this, like I'm fine, you know, and it's a battle, you know, and I think I appreciate it more because it is. Like there's things that come naturally to me, you know, like I'm not the best person at throwing a football, but since the first time I ever picked one up, if it could fit in my hand, laced to bottom, you know, half of it, 50% in my hand, you know what I mean? Like I could throw it. And so that was, you know, maybe some people didn't have that, but that was a small gift to me. But when it comes to waking up and thinking, okay, it's time to do, I took karate as well, so I'd love to talk about that. But I do some of the exercises I did in karate, and it's hard to initiate them. Like, so we would do these push-ups where we would do sets of 10. And so it's 10 push-ups, you know, completely military style, completely, 40, like 2-degree angle, like straight line, 2 feet, 1.5 apart, shoulder width. But we would start at like a small triangle, you know what I mean? And do 1, and then 2 is half an inch out, and 3 is another half an inch, and 4, and so 5 works you out, to just outside of shoulder width, working the triceps, and then the other 5 works you in. And the only difference between that and a regular push-up was I didn't go down and up in a second. I went down and up in 5. And so every push-up is 5 seconds, equaling 10 to be 50, give or take breathing and maybe a second of stalling or stretching or shaking the arms. So it's like a minute per set. And so it just it works out well, you know what I mean, to do it in a minute a set. And I get great results, but fuck, I hate doing it. You know?
Oh, I'm right there with you. I used to do a fair amount of weight training, but goddamn, is it monotonous and progress is so slow. I commend those of you who are able to enjoy weightlifting and kick yourselves in the ass enough to go there 4, 5, 6 times a week. But I know for me, I need something that moves. I need something that drains me by the end of it. And I might not have the big raging bicep that a weightlifter is going to have after the same amount of time. But goddamn, for me, it's martial arts is the way to go.
No,
But
seriously.
with you,
So,
it's more about the cut than the bulk. You don't want the bulk. You want the cut. You want to be able to. You want the stamina. You want to be able to go the distance. So it's high reps, low weight.
Yeah.
Like with
I
me,
mean,
I don't care. I'm in the middle. I'm in the same boat Ricky is. Some days I'm like, man, and some days I really just don't have time. I usually do it in the morning before I get into anything else. I mean, I get up out of bed, bathroom, clean up the kitchen if necessary, make my lunch for the day, and then if I have time, since I usually have to drive an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours to where I'm going to work every day, I'll work out a little bit. I'll do some push-ups, and I've got some dumbbells, so I do push-ups off the dumbbells, and I do some curls, and maybe some crunches if I'm feeling froggy. But that's it. But it depends on the reps when you're doing that. High reps, low reps. That kind of makes the difference one way or the other.
I mean, I'm aware of working like I've done both. Honestly, I've done the 30 reps with a 5 pounder and the 5 reps with a 20 pounder. But I don't know. For me, the enjoyment is not as much there as when I'm just able to push myself. Like one of the worst exercises and best at the same time for that my sensei would have us do is like we were in full kimonos with the belt and everything. He'd have one of us take off our belt and throw it over the waist of the guy in front and say, "All right, hold him there," while saying to the guy in front, "You run to the other side of the dojo." Oh God, those exercises, it's so hard, it's so intense, and you don't just do it once. You do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. By the end of it, I'm almost puking, but God damn, is it satisfying.
so
Yeah.
what type of martial arts did you study exactly?
Traditional jiu-jitsu.
Okay. So
You know, jiu-jitsu, there's two big branches. The Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is essentially a sport on the ground, no hitting, more so like control positions, chokes, and locks. For me, was more of a traditional approach, more of what would have been practiced in old-time Japan, where it's all about self-defense, all about learning how to move with the body and throw a person and essentially stop a combat either as soon as it starts or just evade a combat in full.
Okay, so I studied Shotokan martial arts, and that was a fluidity based martial arts based on when the samurai would be against the allies, and they would, if you were to practice karate in front of the samurai, they would kill you, and so they turned our martial art into a dance as opposed to a strategic fighting platform. And
A bit like capoeira.
I would say so, but I can't spin in the air like a fucking ninja. I want to, but I can't. So we worked a lot off understanding push and pull and momentum. So you know what I mean. When you started, you were rigid, rough punches, sharp shapes, and by the end, the thing you used to do with a closed fist directionally, you would do with an open hand diagonally, and it would be devastating. But if they were to teach you the kill move on day one, you wouldn't stick around for 10 years,
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, that, and also you're not going to do it safely. right?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is the discipline behind defense. Is like I spent my former years studying defense, like probably 4 or 5 or 6 years of my cognizant mind being 26. That's only got to be 11 years or 12 years, maybe 13 years at max, 12 plus. And it's rough to think about when I think about it that way. In all that time, I've spent 40% of it studying defense. You know, I studied facial monitoring and or deception, the 44 muscles in your face that make up 10,000 emotions that relate to and correlate to a ridiculous about 10,000 different emotions you can feel. And so I studied that. I studied behavioral science and sociology and neurology and metacognition, and across the board as a 26-year-old, the only study I've truly advanced leagues in is advanced metacognition. And I only say advanced because when you talk about metacognition, you're just simply talking about the aspect of speaking on something you think about, But when I say advanced, I just simply mean I'm talking about speaking about something that I think about, but I practice it every day. And I hate the word meditate because it's just stigmatized. When you say meditate, someone envisions me cross-legged with fucking circle middle fingers, like
Lotus possession.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, and I hate that, and I tell people that, like, that's not my version of meditation. My version of meditation is I'm accepting no pain, no stress, no depression. I'm releasing all of my worries, and I can focus on brass tacks, and I do this through my hippocampus, my interior calcarine, and my occipital lobes. Occipital lobes. I definitely fucked up that.
You're
third
using words you can't.
Okay.
pronounce.
It's only due to the screwdrivers that I can't remember, but it's occipital lobes, interior calcarine, and hippocampus. Those are the 3 parts of your brain that are most closely associated with actually picturing images. And so whether you can close your eyes and see an image, or whether you can relay an image on your eyes while open, either and both are related to those 3 parts of your brain that we know of that strictly correlate to that. And they've proven through studies that if you show someone a picture of a face, there's a different mental response than if you show someone a picture of a house. But the response between a face and a house shares some of the same context and or being, due to the fact that a house and a face are both personal. And so where you store your house and your people you love in your mind, there's a close correlation to that.
No, I don't store my house anywhere. I store the people I love in my house.
The third item that they shared was a checkerboard, a chessboard, and it was checkerboard, chessboard, and when they showed someone that, the response was utterly different. There was no stimulative connection that allowed a coalescence of understanding where you were like, okay, you show someone this and there's a no response. There was a response, but there was one that the people doing the study couldn't respond to in an accurate way.
Well, I mean, it completely makes sense, because if you think about it, the brain and the human body in itself will always take the most efficient path, the path that requires the least effort. And that's just, it's the law of how things go. You don't want to spend more effort than what it takes to accomplish a given task. It's
path of least resistance. It's a really, really big thing in the study of physics. I don't know why I had problems with that in high school. I was really good with math, really good with science. I understand physics completely. I understand the theories behind it. I understand basically how this is going to work and that's going to go in the actual science, the equations. You give me the equation and all the factors, I couldn't make it work. But path of least resistance is a big thing in physics in general.
Oh yeah, and even in psychology. I mean, the bachelor I did is it wasn't psychology in the sense of here's how to help someone, here's how to do therapy. It's more like the science behind psychology and why psychology is a science. And if I think about the path of least resistance in concerns to psychology and what Richard was talking about with the different responses in the occipital lobe, it makes sense because the things that you associate with being personal, such as a house and a face of a relative, they're going to have to be close by because it just makes sense that when I think about my house, I know I think about my fiance and I think about my cats.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about my house, I might not be thinking about, and I don't have an example. I might not be thinking of a basketball because I don't have a basketball in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense that it elicits a different response or a similar response elsewhere because there's no relation there. So there's going to be a different path to get there. The brain is not something magical. It's physics. It's just changes in your neurons and in the pathways that they take that creates new memories that associates images with realized and memorized things. So it just completely makes sense. One of my teachers in one of my classes said, I don't know if it was bullshitting me or not, but there's a specific area of the brain that responds only to Jennifer Aniston. I swear to God, he said that, and I don't know if it was bullshit, but they tried with so many different things. Nothing elicits the same response in the brain as Jennifer Aniston.
That's funny as fuck. I don't know. As far as women go, a woman close to 50 looking like her, I mean, that's the genetic lottery and the I worked my ass off physically lottery as well. You know, that's both, but no, that's next level. And then fair note for the people who, you know, and mind you, we can't see it because we're talking, but the viewers are viewing us in a box around the scoreboard for the Super Bowl. And it is 9-31 with 5 minutes left in the quarter four. So,
I
Wait,
was just
was
going
it-
to say something about that.
yeah,
So
it's
wasn't it like just 1 minute or 1 minute more, half an hour back at this point?
yeah. So that's how it works. I mean, so the score runs on in between plays only for a few seconds, and once the clock stops in between plays, if a timeout's called or if something happens, it can stop again. And so when you think about it, this started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's 9:47 Eastern time, and if you cut the math of a 30-minute halftime, okay, and then 4 15-minute quarters, you end up with the resounding hour and a half, which we've almost, you know what I mean, doubled. So it's
There's
rough.
a lot of timeouts and flags called, and you know, stop the clock between plays, and
It really is a lot. Like a football game is it's a long time, and the halftime in Super Bowl is longer than the halftime in a regular football game. So with that incorporated, the Super Bowl is the longest football game, and I mean it's traditionally a 3 or 4 hour game. You know, it started at 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. It's already been 3 hours and 18 minutes, and I'm willing to bet it rolls for another 25 or something until it cuts, but no, it's the Tom Brady is the king OG giant dick hanging quarterback. He's got Patriots Super Bowl rings. He's got fucking, you know, Pirates, Buccaneers, whatever his team that he's on now.
he's got more rings than fingers.
Dude, you know what I mean? Though that is so fucking impressive. Like, you want to talk about a peak athlete? There's no other athlete that's Tom Brady. There's no soccer. You know, I don't study soccer or, frankly, any other sport at all. But if anyone was bigger than Tom Brady, I have to presume I'd hear of them. Because I didn't try to hear of Tom Brady, and I did. You know what I mean? God, just... That dude's fucking... He's an animal. He's a fucking animal. I can't even... I grew up watching him just slam Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Like, by the time I was 15, I had seen Tom Brady win so many times that hearing about Tom Brady winning wasn't impressive. You know what I mean? It was like, well, guess what? If you face Tom Brady, you fucking lose. You know?
It's a bit like for the little I know of hockey, talking about Sidney Crosby, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't
You
know.
know, if you go up against that guy, you're done. You're just done.
Yeah, in some leagues and some sports, that's the crux of it. You face the best player that exists, and
Mhm.
what are you gonna bring to the table? Like if you're the top 10%, he's the top percent. You're the top tenth of a percent. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you can't fuck with that. But it's mighty impressive, and I think it's really cool that we get to experience something like this. Football's played all the time. So is so many other sports, but I can't tell you. There's the greats like Kobe and LeBron and you know what I mean. All the big basketball players I could name, even though I don't watch basketball, and I know of them, even though I don't watch basketball. You heard about Bryant dying in the helicopter crash, right?
Mhm.
That was insane, man. When I heard of that, I was like, God damn, and the thing that hurt me was that every other experienced pilot decided not to fly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They were all like, this is a dumb idea, fog advisory, yada yada, and it wasn't a good idea. But no, I'm feeling Topher's eye rub, and it's I got work tomorrow. He's got work tomorrow. You working tomorrow?
I'm not working tomorrow, but I do have to get up early as well. So,
Yeehaw.
uh,
Well, we're all
well,
in correlation there.
mhm. But thank you guys so much for having me. It was an absolute blast.
Yeah, no problem. It'd be a pleasure to have you in the future. Typically, we're on exactly almost half and/or less of half, or almost a third of the duration of this. I
It's
know you.
usually about an hour ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you got here at 8, and you
But
stayed
we
here till
were.
almost 10. So thank you
Oh
so
yeah,
much.
yeah. We've been on since like maybe 6:45, steady. After we got over our couple of glitches.
Yeah, but no, this was cool, and to be honest, in my mind, in the future, in a year or 2 years or 3 years, I want to have this show be 4 hours a week, and so as having this be this is episode 24, so this is just less than half a year of this show existing. It's kind of cool that we had our first 3-hour show, and it aligned with the Super Bowl. And so maybe we could do a Super Bowl show every year, or maybe only when Tom Brady's there, so every year. Um, but no, thank you so much. Now's the opportunity. We will have all the links you give me below the show. I'll have them there in a day or two. I'll get them after the show. But if you vocally want to plug anything, now is the time.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I know I've spoken about the title of the podcast I host, but here we go. Called God, Dicks, and Puns, and it's an actual play podcast about a D&D variant called Pathfinder, which is just a bit more number crunchy, bigger values, etc. We release episodes once every 2 weeks, and we are releasing episode 17 as of this week. I run it with 4 other guys that are awesome. They really get into it, and we have a blast and puns, dicks galore. So feel free to come look us up, and we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. Not Instagram yet. I can't get the handle of that one. So otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sweet. Please check out Chaotic Neutral's Instagram, Topher. Anything besides that you need to say or plug, or anyone you want to say goodbye to?
No, I'm good, brother. We got it covered. Thanks for coming on and dealing with us. I know we're not all that serious or deep sometimes, and sometimes we get a little too deep, and then
Well, it was a fun balance of all of it.
and
I gotta say, it was sometimes very deep, sometimes just super light humor. You guys do great.
Well, thank you very much. When I'm talking to people before the show, I have to explain to them that we're unscripted. And so, they say, well, what do I need to bring? And I'm like, well, kind of just your personality. I mean, I hope in time we'll get better at picking stuff up, as a unit. But I think we do okay, and I'm happy with the outcome. So thank you very much for coming on. To anyone who has followed through or popped in, we will have the links of Samuel here beneath the show, his podcast, God, Dicks, Puns, GODDICKS, PUNS. Please check it out. And we got Chaotic Neutral's Instagram and a bunch of links beneath the